hello everyone. Sorry that took longer than usual. I was still setting stuff up. How is everyone? Hello, hello. We are having collab day with Nibby and Foxy again today. I'm very excited. We're playing Schedule 1. Also, hello Einstein. The moment I start talking, he comes up. Hello. But yeah, hi everyone. It's good to see everyone. Roxy and Senya, thank you so much for the lark. Also, Song, thank you. I will hydrate. Amon, nice cock, nice balls. Greasy, good luck with studying. Also, oh. Sorry. That one wasn't set up quite yet. I scammed you. You'll get a refund for that. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. I forgot I wasn't logged in yet. Ah. Damn, did someone distract you while setting stuff up, or why did it take longer? Well, first of all, Foxy distracted me a little bit. And I was also waiting for Nibby to start her stream so I could get first. So, you know, I had to wait a little bit longer. Otherwise I would have gotten distracted and I couldn't have gotten first. But it's all taken care of now. Amon, you'll get a refund for that, don't worry. Let me also check. Oh boy. Makes sense, yeah, I need to get that first. You know how it is. But Greasy, please don't get distracted.
Cheese.
There we go. Oh, Xian, thank you. I'll hydrate again in a second. Hold on. Let me just make sure everything is set here. Also, sorry, Kai. I didn't see you over on YouTube, but hello. Hold on, I need to get my other chat set up. My god. Here I thought I was prepared, but I'm really not. Okay, hold on, let me type a test thing real quick. Okay, cool. Now everything is working. But yes, hi Zark, I hope you can still hear me. Let me put this chat. No, actually, let me put this chat over here. And the other one right here. Why do I have... Hold on. Is this my browser? It is my browser. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Let me close all of these. I return to studying now. Don't worry. I'll have to wake up at 4:20 tomorrow, so I'll concentrate so that I'll... Oh my god. Yeah, please. I sadly can still hear you. Fuck you, Zark.
What the dog doing?
Whatever. Oh, JB, hello. Welcome in, thank you for the follow. JB, the real one. I like that name. Thank you for the follow, welcome in. Sadly can still hear you is crazy work. But yeah, hi, I hope you're doing well. How are you? But yeah, let me make sure that I have everything. Well, I still have to set up the Fugies because I'm not in the call yet. But other than that, I should be okay. If Lucy, don't eat that. Hold on, my cat is trying to eat something she really shouldn't. Come on, come here. Come here. Not good. Good, what about you? I'm doing pretty good today. I'm doing pretty good. Oh, and now she's having zoomies. Okay, all right. I don't know what's up with my cats. Maybe they're excited about the snow as well. But yeah, we finally decided to play Schedule 1 again. It's been a while. As always, I'm gonna be a good citizen. Definitely always a good citizen, always following the rules and the laws, you know how it is. My cat is a Russian blue, his name is Koda. Oh, that is so cute. I love Russian blue. I have two cats. I have one British long hair called Einstein because he looks like Einstein. But he's... Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's actually really stupid, so don't let his name fool you. And the other one is a black cat called Lucy. They're both very sweet, even though really chaotic and still pretty young. That's probably why they are chaotic. Okay. You can probably hear the zoomies in the background. I'm really sorry. But it is what it is. Let me pull up Discord to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay. Foxy has started the... Hold on, let me hop into the call so I can set up the Fookies. Whoa, wait, is that Cookie? Hi, Cookie. Cookie, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for the love. I love you too. Damn, my lips are so dry today and I don't have a chapstick anywhere. I guess I'll just drink more. I be going, how is you? It's going, it's going. Can't complain too much. We still have snow here, so I'm still very excited. Let me just keep my water right here. Okay. But yeah, I don't have much to yap about. I'ma hop into the call with Foxy and just set everything up for the Foogies and stuff, and then we can jump straight into the game. I miss snow. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll mail you some. I'm sure that's gonna go well. I'll just mail you some snow. Don't worry, I got you. Wait, let me make sure all of this is paused so I don't strain my internet connection too much. Why do I have 2 of these open? I don't need that. Hooray, yeah, I got you. Don't worry. Okay, yeah, let me jump into the call.
Oh, hello?
Hello. Oh god, why are you so loud? Jesus.
Why are you so quiet?
Hold on. Ugh. I should probably sit up straight. That might be the issue, honestly.
Yeah, so also don't check my stream.
I'm checking your stream right now.
Don't
no,
do
actually,
it!
First of all, yeah, you're safe because I need to set up the Foogies. You are safe for now. No, wait, that's
What do you mean I'm safe?
I'm not checking your stream right now.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh no, we got ads. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you? Also, hi, Foxy.
I'm good.
Chat.
Chat, say hi to Ellie. They're in ads right now.
Wow, they hate me. I see how it is.
We're currently watching some cool videos.
Oh no. What are you watching?
Don't
are you...
ask.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I should.
We can't hear Ellie? Oh no.
I shouldn't have looked at you. Oh wait, you can't hear me?
Now say something.
Hello?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm still claiming that your chat hates me because they didn't say hello to me back.
Well,
even
they
though they
couldn't
couldn't
hear you.
Yeah, even though they couldn't hear me. I'm just toxic like that.
Hi, Greasy. This makes way too much sense. What do you mean? Also, hi, Zaylee.
We can start the shared chat, by the way.
Oh yeah, let me start that.
This makes way too
Chat,
much.
chat.
Yeah, right. It does. It really does. What do you mean, happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Ellie.
I hate you people.
Happy birthday.
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
Oh my god, it's a Cookie. Hi, Cookie.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, my chat and I, we were... Oh my god, my model's crashing from me. Guys, stop spamming the command. I'm disabling it.
Oh my god, you guys.
Hello.
Hi, Nippy.
Hi, hang on, they can't hear you. Give me 1 second.
Wait, I need to set up your Foogie too. We're so...
Oh, that's right, because we renamed it from Fast Food Sim to the Goobers. So
yes.
OBS couldn't see it anymore. Yeah.
So, in case you were wondering what's happening on my screen right now,
I don't think
my
Libby
chat and
wants
I,
to
we were
know.
kind of bored, and I had to be right back.
Yeah, right.
Wait, what did it devolve to? I clicked
You,
away.
you should go see.
You don't want to know.
Devolve to? Let's see. Oh God, we're on baby sensory now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Greasy. Hello.
Okay, that's enough. Hi, how's it going? It's good to see you.
I got my smooth jazz going. What are you guys listening to?
I'm
We listen to Flute.
Oh,
Skyrim Lo-Fi.
oh hell yeah! I love that Skyrim playlist. Oh my god.
It's also the only thing I feel safe right now with multi-streaming to YouTube.
Oh,
But
that's fair.
I gotta find other things too.
That's fair.
I'm listening to my usual stuff, you know.
Listen to Minecraft. Oh fuck yeah,
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Ellie,
Are
when
you guys
can we play
ready?
Minecraft? Yeah.
Well,
We need to play Minecraft.
I was gonna play Minecraft, but then somebody decided to shut down our server. And then I got sad.
That's true. That's right.
Whoa!
I even built a whole house for
Yeah,
Ellie,
It was
and
a
you
money.
closed the
It was a
damn
money
server.
reason, okay? No one changed.
I'm blaming you
You wanna-
anyways.
No, Nimby and I will bring back the server.
Yeah, we're gonna
Soon
start
TM.
season 2.
I'm so ready for that.
Yeah.
I can finally actually play with you guys.
Yeah.
In before the server comes back, and Ellie's like, oh, I'm so busy. I don't have time.
Hello.
That's crazy.
My 3 billion businesses. They need my attention. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Wait,
no,
what
my
is
tummy
happening?
hurts today.
Hello, butt sex. Thank you for the follow.
God, I just clocked that name.
That's crazy. I like your name. You're Nibby's new favorite chatter.
VIP them right now.
I'm
Mod them.
tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tempted.
Geringverdiener. You know what? Greasy, you can change that.
I
Give me all
immediately
your money.
started crying.
Oh my god,
Wait.
this is so funny.
Wait. I need to send Greasy the silly thing.
Oh my god.
Ellie, what model are you using today?
The new one.
Oh, yes.
Guys,
well,
can you
we'll see
please
how it
go
runs.
online on Steam so I can invite you?
We'll see how it
No.
runs. Hold on, my bad.
No,
My
fuck you.
game isn't started up yet.
Shaking my head.
It's in
Huh?
protest. Twitch said my last name was too sexually oriented, so I became this. I love you. You're great.
It is a 10 out of 10 name.
Yeah, I love that. That is perfect.
I made it to favorites and friends. Yes, Ellie.
Okay,
Fish nibbler.
Hello.
Ellie redacted.
I'm joining, hold on. There, I'm in the lobby.
I need to change the stream category.
Oh yeah.
Schedule.
Faster.
Schedule. Oh my god, Dungeon! Thank you so much for the 22 months resub.
Are
Wait,
you
that's a
doing
wheel
Ellie?
spin.
That's a good question.
Wait, okay. Ellie,
Hi, Limey.
Nibby, Ellie, Nibby, you both know about the wheel spins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the next challenge with me with a spin, depending on your capabilities?
It depends on my capabilities, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'll do it with you if I
Okay.
can.
Okay, let's do a spin. Dungeon, thank you so much.
Thank you, Cookie.
It's Cookie, yeah, Cookie is here too.
Cookie. Thank you for
I
the
gotta spin
hydrate,
again.
Cookie.
Guys, you can't spin. It's only for me. I do the spin. You can't do that. It's me. I do the spin.
It's me. Spin.
I did your warning on not joining that time. Yeah, it was bad. say meow after each sentence for 2 minutes? Bro.
Can we
Is
put
this a
having
Catgirl
a
stream
party
now?
in an offline chat in this? That's crazy. Spin this pants grab is insane.
Oh my god.
So we need to finish every sentence with meow for the next 2 minutes. Are you in with that?
I'm not doing that.
Fuck you,
Fuck
Willow.
that. I'm not
God
doing
speed
that.
you, though.
Chat, do you hear that? Can someone
Nah.
clip what Ellie said 2 minutes ago? She's joining.
Nah, I'm not doing that cringe shit.
I'm not capable of
Crazy.
You
doing
gotta
that.
pay me good money for that. I'm not doing that for free.
I gifted you a fucking iPhone 13. What do you mean?
Nah, I'm giving you emotes for that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going that low. Hi, Super. Thank you for the streak.
Oh my
You said
god.
pay you
Yeah.
like 500 euros right now, and I'll do it.
Chat, Ellie does it for 5 gifted.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for
Fine,
500
the gift
euros.
was so cheap.
500 euros, and I'll
if you
do it.
Dude, if you wait 20 years, it's basically the same thanks to
That's
inflation,
crazy.
okay?
I'm not gonna be
That-
here in 20 years.
Why?
Oh, wait,
Because
Nibby
you're so
got-
old?
Nibby got the first. Yeah, like I'm not gonna live long. Wait, Nibby has
Inflation?
seen Limey's new model. I'm so jealous.
Wait, I have
Yeah.
a... Oh my god, show.
Yeah, I got to see it. So cute.
You sure you want only 500? 500 euros is not only.
If you're saying only, I'll take
Yeah, what
it if
the
Ellie
fuck?
doesn't.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
only,
you know
give,
what?
give all of us each 500 euros.
Nibby, wanna split and buy cute outfits with that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Greasy, we take it.
We'll take it.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Dude.
Wait, this game is
Yeah.
so loud.
To quote an absolute legend, not everyone got $8. Dude, Queso's a real one for that
That's
one.
true, that's true.
But
But I love Casey
Honestly?
so much.
Honestly, I really enjoy watching his streams.
Me too. And I know Nibby as well. I think we both have days where we only watch Queso.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I
Same.
think there was actually Ellie that day that we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I had watched like 4 queso VODs that day.
Yeah,
Just
I
working on
was
the
like on my
emotes.
fourth as well, and it was so funny when I showed you which one I was on, and you were like, "I just
Did you watch
watched
the?
that one."
Did you watch the interview of Lena?
Yeah.
The VOD of Lena interviewing
Yeah.
Queso. Dude,
That was fun.
honestly, that was a really fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, Limey, 10 stream streak, holy! I don't even
Holy
stream
Limey
that often.
streaking, that's
What
crazy.
is happening?
For the 10th time, Limey's
Yeah.
streaking through the streets.
Also, guys, we forgot to change our foogies.
I remember.
Oh,
Oh yeah, true. I
should-
just
I
noticed.
should look baked as fuck, right?
Wait, holy shit! I don't know where mine is.
Oh god,
wait.
yours is huge.
Wait. Oh, there
What
it
do you mean
is.
it's huge?
It went from normal size to like consuming Ellie.
Oh my god, it is
Queso!
big. Holy shit! Wait, did mine
Figure
change,
out.
Guys, I'm a grower.
Okay. Yeah, you are definitely a grower. You're so big.
To
Oh,
save
that's the
Ellie.
wrong thing.
Thanks, kitten. Oh my god, I'm gonna
Oh,
I'll graduate IRL.
I just want you to know you did that, and I immediately looked up at the little the little Riz emote I have of you at the top of my screen.
right.
Ah,
Oh, the cringe I just felt.
same.
Ellie rebrands into a
Do you-
skinless VTuber.
Yeah.
I think Ellie should rebrand into a VR chat e-boy.
Oh, I could do that. I would be
Oh.
really good at that.
Honestly, okay, so like what if we at some point all like do a themed stream all together, like a collab where we all like pretend to be like someone else, and Ellie is just like a VR chat emo. It's like non-stop talking like slow and deep, like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?"
My voice is gonna be dead after that for like 2 weeks, but it would be so worth it. That kind of voice hurts.
We have to.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh god, that'd be so fun and cursed.
That would be funny.
Wait, what would Nibby be? Well, what would be Nibby's role?
What would I be?
Oh, Nibby would be like a mean girl from high school.
Oh fuck
Damn.
no! I was bullied too much.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
trauma. That's trauma.
Let's see.
That's why I'm so good in bullying. I'm just using the same stuff they used back then on me.
She could
What's
be
the
like a
difference to
really
normal Ellie?
toxic, closeted white male.
Oh my
Damn.
god, yes! Yes! Oh my god! And your name will, dude, your name will be Justin.
No.
Oh my god, wait, what's my role?
I don't know.
I'm bad with that stuff about myself.
You're someone who has game, I guess.
Whoa, okay. We gotta stay realistic, okay?
You gotta try to riz us up to the whole
That's why it's
stream.
roleplay. It doesn't have to be realistic.
Oh my god, true. I mean, listen, like, you know these moments when like you normally don't have risk, but out of nowhere you suddenly have a risk for like a 1 minute, and everyone's like, whoa, what just happened?
That's crazy.
I think that's how I
Foxy-
scored my wife.
Foxy's a cheerleader bad bitch. Dude, I would not speak with a Valley girl accent. I can't do that.
Nah, I couldn't do
I
that
think you
either.
could.
No. I'd rather eat... No, I'm not saying it.
No, say it.
Say it.
I'd rather eat a spoonful of Gamer Subs powder.
Well,
I
you
was
already
close to
snorted
saying
that,
snort. Yeah.
You already snorted
Guys,
that for like 5 steps.
Foxy,
Guys, 10 gifted and I snort Gamer Subs.
No, don't do that again.
10. Greasy. 10 gifted.
Oh my god, leave it. It's the
I
end of
despise
the
the Valley
month,
girls,
guys.
it's same.
Hi, Bogus. How's my favorite piss streamer? Doing good. We're about to do drugs or something in
Yeah.
game.
In game? Wait, in game? Dude, I got some new weed because
That's
it's legal in my country.
I mean, yeah, it's legal here. I think it's legal in all of our countries. That's fine. Or in states in Nibis.
They're trying to make it not legal.
Yeah, I know.
I just want
to get high. That's how I plan on getting through this fucking administration, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Nibby screamed your name, Greasy.
Hello, illegal here. It's crazy.
Greasy. Foxy said 10 gifties and she snorts more gamers.
Yeah, but you gotta give those to me, though.
Nah.
I want to
Not again.
Not again. It's so funny.
5 to me, 5 to Ellie. Scam the fuck out of Foxy.
because here's the thing. No, because here's the thing. I remember you got the gifted subs for me to do something during the fast.
I got like €5 for you to do something, and it just took it. I don't know how I scammed you out of that.
Maybe while Fox is offline, it's more fun that way. Well, but when I don't have to snort Gamer Subs. You know what? Yeah, that's fine. I see this as an absolute win.
Oh my god.
Man. One day.
Should we start the game, by the way? I think we're all in here.
Yeah, do we continue with the last one?
Yeah.
We want to.
Continue. Oh yeah, we called it the Urgins.
Is that what we called it?
Why is my other save called Foxy's Fent Business?
Oh my god.
It's insane.
Against the subs, me, I have to snort.
No, Nibby does.
What?
No, it was bad the last time. That's no negotiation.
Okay, fine. Let's be fair here, I guess.
Man.
And before Ellie sends me a package with 10 sandwiches from Subway, like a week old, like half rotten, is like goes not a line.
You know it.
You.
You should get a package on Friday, by the way.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
Where are
According
your
to the-
pants?
According to the tracking, anyway.
But she never had pants.
Yeah, I never had
I
pants.
forgot.
What do you mean?
Oh my god, Ellie, you know how Nibby looks like? As if she
Oh.
just went like through a 72-hour rave in the Berghain.
Oh my god, that is so real. Oh,
That's how Nibby looks like.
Wait, did Libby get the subs?
Congrats, Nibby! Now you got us not some stuff.
We have a shared hype train, guys. Let's go.
Thank you, Greasy,
Shit,
for
hype
the
train,
10
let's
gifties.
go.
Thank you. Oh,
That's
Cookie got one.
crazy work.
But Sex got one.
Let's go.
Oh, what a beautiful name.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, where did we stop last time?
I don't know.
How do I
You
open
sold a
E?
lot of drugs.
My
I
cravings are
cleaned
out
up
of
the
hand.
town. Wait, what's the
I'm-
bananas for?
Ah!
I made it. Oh, it's for one of our mixes, I think. Yeah, it was for something that I was mixing.
Oh, I was packing.
Dungeon,
last
thank you so
time,
much
I
for the
remember.
100 biddies, and yes, it does. Okay,
Right,
you know what I need? I need sound in this game. I can't hear shit.
Just open your ears,
Hmm.
see? Open those big old fox ears.
What the
I
storage is
forgot
for?
how to messages.
Yeah, I've been setting them up for
fart.
nighttime.
Dude, I'm completely out of a loop how to do what.
Yeah, me too.
So I remember.
need to-
I
need to get a
remember. So
feel.
we took all contracts, like all offers for the late night thing. You know, like 4 a.m. for the 20% more money.
Ew.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what I have to do.
Masturbation is a form of witchcraft.
Oh, I need to pay off. Oh no, we need to pay off our debt.
It's $300. So we got
That's
plenty of
nothing.
money.
We have plenty of money.
Yeah.
Withdraw 500. 500 cigarettes.
500 monies.
Wait, how does this work again? Oh. Okay. I see.
All right, I did this. I forgot a thing.
Yay, we're debt free. We're debt free,
Yay.
gang.
For now.
Oh, for now, yeah.
Yeah, we need more seeds.
You know
if
what that
wanna-
means, though?
if you want
We
me to
can go
make
to
more.
the casino.
Oh. The casino's at night.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Wait, we need more seeds?
Yeah. Whatever you want me to grow, we need more of.
I've ordered 8 seeds.
Thank you.
They're ready in 4
Holy
hours.
shit, he's
Okay.
hot.
What?
There's a SpongeBob painting on the wall, and he's really hot. Hi, Singer. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
You
Wait,
licking it.
wait, where are you guys? Come to the apartment real quick.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my
He's
way.
very handsome. There's Foxy. Where Nibby?
I come in.
That's
Hello.
nothing.
Follow me.
Okay, I'm following.
Oh my. Yeah. He's
He's
certainly
hot.
good.
Can you leave? Can you?
Hey.
Oh, I don't have anything to buy.
Wait, no, she wants to deal. She wants to deal. No, don't.
I got nervous. It's fine. It's fine.
We just
No
made
one will-
$200. Wait,
Well,
can we
no.
steal from her?
Yeah, just gotta
It's
flip
the
her
best
over.
piss queen in all the
Gotta
land.
get to her pockets.
Faye,
Ellie,
hi,
my
Faye.
love. Eeheeheeheehee.
Guys, easiest $200.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry, I got nervous. When I get nervous, I swing on people.
Faye, how are you? I'll be lurking again. Okay, Greasy, thank you.
Bye, Greasy. Thanks for
Ellie,
lurking.
Foxy, please tell Nibby of
Yeah,
our
yeah.
recent party. No, because then she would expect it. Then she would know what was
Yeah.
coming to her next month. So it's I would keep
Exactly.
it a secret.
What?
No, act like
Don't
act
wait,
like you
worry
haven't
about
wait.
it.
act like you haven't heard anything just now.
What?
Perfect.
You guys don't know where I live, right?
You
Know where you
swing.
live.
I very loudly announce I'm gonna piss myself when I'm nervous. That's crazy.
Look at
So,
me.
how do we get into the sewers?
Yeah, how? I wanna see.
Oh, okay. So we either have to level up enough that we unlock a certain part of the city and become friends with a character named Jen. She works in town hall. Or we have to pickpocket the key off of her on a day that she has it in her inventory.
Okay.
Oh. Wayne Knight, thank you for the follow. So, where does she work?
She works over here in town hall by the fountain. Is she
Okay.
in today?
I
She's
can.
in today. Oh, she doesn't have it in her pocket though.
So this is her, huh?
Yeah. So we have
Well,
to
how does she know
unlock
that?
her. We have to unlock her area of town.
Okay.
We need the uptown region unlocked, and then we have to become friendly with her, and then
Guys,
she
can you
sell
talk
us
to her?
the-
Can you talk to her so I can pickpocket?
She doesn't have
Pocket
it
She
on
doesn't
pick?
her.
have it on her.
Not today.
Yeah. If you ever wanna pickpocket her, just knock so she comes out the door, and then crouch behind her for a second. You can check her pockets.
Wanted to stop in and say hi. Thank you,
Ally
Faye.
Pro.
Good to
run!
see you. Thank you for the resub
What did you do?
too. What the
I
fuck?
failed
What did
to
you do?
pickpocket.
Oh my god.
Oh. Gonna get us in trouble.
Hello? Yeah, don't look at me like that, bitch. I'm just cleaning the town.
No!
But thank you, Faye. Thank you for resubbing. I love you.
Wait.
Wait, did we just
who picked up the order?
I did. I set it for nighttime.
Ah, okay. I was like, wait, I pressed the wrong button because I got an insta thingy.
Oh, yeah, no. I've been picking them up and I set them for late.
Thank you for the lure, Climby.
Oh,
The drop
I'll go
is
pick
ready.
up our drugs.
Drugs. Excuse me,
Dungeon,
officer.
thanks for
Drugs.
thanks for lurking, Dungeon.
Drugs. Yeah,
Peggy.
yeah. I go back to my cage. Get ready to produce
All
more
right.
weed.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I got drugs, Nippy.
Yeah.
I got drugs.
Drugs. We have
Drugs.
so much fucking cushion here. We got the good kush,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, come here.
I wanna
I
do
got
the
this for
packing
you.
again.
Oh wait, I need to put it up here, right?
Yeah.
Why do you have 4 random bananas there?
My snacks. You guys lock me in here all day because of my food.
That is
Oh,
slander.
What do you mean?
don't worry about it.
slander?
We
You
don't
guys wouldn't
lock
let
you
me
up.
out of the house the last time we played this because I had to
No,
make all
no.
the weed.
You chose to do it. You could have just been like, fuck you guys. And did your own thing.
But then who would have made the weed?
Nobody. We would have
Ellie.
been good citizens.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't trust Ellie with drugs. Oh, there's a cop coming. There's a cop coming to the apartment.
That's crazy.
They don't come in though.
He's right in front of a stairs. Okay, he walked past.
He doesn't have a search
want me
warrant.
to kill
We're
him?
good.
Cheese.
Cheese. Hi, cheese
Oh.
guy.
I wanted to hit him with a ball. Oh, he reacts to it.
Did you upset the cop?
No, he's walking in. He was pissed.
Beast. Making pretty flowers.
Witty.
Pretty flowers. Oh, shit.
You two are also
many?
very pretty flowers.
God. Thanks.
Thanks, I guess.
Stop looking at me like that. I need a trusted
Very-
adult.
Very
I
very
need a
pretty.
Ellie!
Flower.
Okay,
Very
all right.
pretty.
I feel
Flower.
like
Very. Oh, sorry, I was inside you. Wait, you do it. You do it. I want to see how creepy it is. Oh God!
See what I mean? It was so disturbing.
Ellie's punching you. Oi!
Ow.
stop it! I'm packing.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh
why?
my gosh.
Why would you hit me 5 times? God damn it!
so I was 3 times. Okay, learn how to count.
I don't know where I am.
You don't know where you spawned?
Well, not here.
Bitch, that's your
Oh,
fault.
Lord.
You started hitting Nibby. I was just protecting her.
After you cornered me.
Yeah, for real. Wait, where's the apartment?
Yeah, I'm the only creep here. Okay.
I'm the only one who can be a creep here.
Yeah.
At least I didn't lose my
Gang.
trash.
Freaking good.
I worry about you too.
I would too. Hello. I don't want to sell you anything. Hi, Luca. How are you?
Hi.
Wait.
Hey, Beth. I got you. Here's some drugs.
Some drug.
Hi, McLovin. Would you like 1 drugs? You will get drugs. Hey, Donna. You want drugs? I got you.
So many
We got-
deals,
we-
dude.
We need tons of drugs, by the way. You better hurry up.
We have tons of drugs.
We have a lot.
I don't know if
and
we have
I'm
enough.
I'm about to pack a lot of them too.
Oh, good.
I
you
got like
more
45
babies.
with
Yeah,
me,
I
that should
got
be
more
fine.
baggies. I'm gonna pack some now.
Ooh,
The curfew starts soon.
curfew.
How did the bike miss? It has a miss
curfew.
chance. It doesn't always hit me.
Scam.
Yeah, I know. I love scamming you guys.
I get scam nerd.
Wait, Eddie, you said the package is arriving here on Friday? Do you have your number tracking?
I can give it to you later, yeah.
Nice. It's okay, you can read it out loud. What can go wrong?
That's
One.
that's unsafe.
2.
Just read it in German.
Ja, genau.
Yeah, we still need to okay, real talk. How fun would it be if we do like a German learning stream for Nibby? Where we just teach her like some common phrases.
Would be fun, actually.
That would
I would
actually be
enjoy
really
that.
funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Like if we like do it like not like to make fun of anyone, but like to actually like, you know, teach her some stuff. That would be so fun.
some stuff she could use every day here.
Hello Nibby, do you
Yeah.
want to learn German? How to order pretzel with extra cheese?
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah! And
Okay,
then
okay,
then
okay,
she
we
also
need
needs to
plan
know
that.
how to ask where the bathroom is because the cheese is gonna fuck her up.
True. And we will teach her how to swear, okay? We will teach her how to swear. She will learn about Eierloch, okay?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, no, I think she knows. Wait,
Yeah, that one's pee hole, right?
yeah.
Please don't do that. That would be yeah. Don't worry. I know how unsafe that is. Do not worry. I would never do that, even as a joke, Gracie.
Greasy, Ellie knows where my house lives.
So do you.
And those where your house lives?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just doesn't know where my... Oh.
I'll learn where your bed
Can
sleeps
you
eventually.
check my screen real quick?
What's
Huh?
going on?
Yeah.
Just check it.
Wait.
Okay. Going as fast as
Oh,
I can.
okay. All right. I see.
That's the NPC you knocked out earlier.
You knocked
Oh.
her out. No, wait, that was
I was
Libby.
dealing
Holy
with
shit.
her.
Yeah, I was just...
I
was-
knocked her
I
out.
was
Don't
so-
give
me,
credit
huh?
away.
No, yeah, sorry. That was Libby.
It was my violence.
People wouldn't expect it, but Nibby is the most violent in this group.
I'm just being more accurate.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my god. Nibby, not gonna lie. You know what we need to do with a project once it's done in January, right?
Yeah.
Or February, I forgot the time.
Yeah.
We need to send some stuff to Ellie. Don't
Yeah.
tell her though.
What?
Okay.
We need to send her some stuff.
Ellie, plug your ears. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I think she'd love it. Yeah.
I think so too.
I'm scared. Yeah, we have so
What's
many
Wait,
deals
you know
going. Jesus.
Wait, oh my god. You know my Steam profile picture, right?
Yeah.
Imagine I would get this as like a coaster.
Foxy.
Yes.
Foxy.
Yes.
The deal for Joyce just expired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because but it was a person who was dead on the floor.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, they didn't need it anyway.
Yeah.
Hospital.
I hit my name right as my stream started buffering. Don't worry about it. Yo, Keith wants some drugs. We got you. Oh, I need to
guys
start
wanna-
delivering the kush.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
I'm packing everything.
I'm making us rich.
Yeah.
How do you...
I'll just gape about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you split again?
Right click and scroll.
Ah, thanks.
You guys want to listen to me eat a really obnoxiously loud snack?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give us
Yeah.
that ASMR.
You guys can guess what it is.
Oh.
I hope Discord.
Is it
picks up.
Doritos?
No.
Why not?
It is crunchy though.
I can't hear anything.
I want snacks.
Oh,
The only
Discord
snacks I got
macaroni.
here are freaking jelly beans, and those are only for if the Wheel of Punishment lands on them.
But I need water.
Yeah, getting money.
I'm eating seaweed.
I don't think Discord picks it up,
Ooh.
unfortunately.
Man.
Oh no. There's... I can't see that one. There we go.
More drugs.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe this is just Foxy's drug empire.
I don't
Huh?
mind it.
What do you mean, my empire? This is our empire.
Actually,
We're
it's
the
our
ones-
empire because she's just a runner boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Ellie,
just-
I
I'm
had
just
no idea.
runner.
What do you mean, song? What do you mean?
Also, chat. Ellie said, "Boy, cancel."
That's crazy. That pencils for left-handed people are 4 times more
Wait.
expensive. Yeah, they are.
This is evil.
Unfortunately, they make a good money off left-handed folks.
We should kill him.
I send you
Oh,
a
hey,
life
what are
hack
you
for that.
using?
Well, Song, I could have used
Oh
that,
shit!
well, in school, but
Uh-oh.
now I
Oh,
don't need
fuck.
it anymore.
Someone got
Okay,
caught.
so Keith also has a key. I tried to steal it from him, and he started stabbing me.
Oh boy.
Well, if you knock him out, you can get the key off of his body.
Yeah. Also,
I could try that.
What were you saying?
Beat the fuck out of him. What
She
was I
forgot.
saying?
Your face doesn't make this any better. Look at the way she looks.
Dude, I can't find him anymore. Keith, where are you? Let's talk about it.
What the fuck was I gonna say?
You were
oh,
gonna-
were you using the plant trimmers over here?
Yeah.
I'll get
Do
you
you
some automatic ones next
Oh,
time the
okay.
market's open.
All right.
Guys, Keith disappeared from the map.
Thank you, Vera,
Oh,
for so much
man.
for the follow. Welcome in.
Oh, hi, Vera.
Hi, Vera.
Hi, how are you?
He eats more seaweed.
Vera is a good friend of me. Very nice person. And with a
Hello.
very, very smaxy model.
Yeah, I remember we played Uno together once.
Yeah,
It was really fun.
it was.
But yeah, Song, I'm gonna look at that video later.
I think we unlocked our
Right.
first dealer.
Oh,
We did. Oh yeah, remember we did that, but we're not doing it because like he takes a 20% cut, remember?
I mean, we could make
Yeah,
more
but-
money without him. But
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
could still use him though, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because we're getting more and more deals.
Exactly.
In the
Doing
grand
good. Just
scheme
kept
of
home.
things,
How's
I
Vampire's
would
doing
employ
good.
him.
Yeah, I did a game like save where I hired all the dealers, and honestly, in the grand scheme of things, the 20% isn't that much.
Yeah, honestly, I
Especially
think we
once
should hire
you-
him.
Especially
I
once you
drink,
like
thank
jack
you.
up the price of the drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Maybe check the shelf. Look at those stacks.
Which one? Where am I looking? Oh, damn! Fat stacks. Hell yeah.
Oh, Vera. I need to send you something, Vera. Oh, I still have a fruit stem video on in the background, only hearable for me.
You just stimming
Oopsie.
over there.
Yeah. We all know nothing bad can happen, like,
God.
right?
You like my
Fucking
eyes?
Ellie.
Come
Turning all the
closer.
lights on makes them even brighter.
Wait, how do I see myself? V, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful I
Cheeto.
am, guys.
You're
Okay,
very
let's
beautiful,
sleep.
Ellie.
Let's sleep.
CP.
Give me a second.
Foxy,
I
I'm
wasn't in game.
tired.
It's okay.
Just sleep, dude.
Oh,
I was about to knock you out.
Do it, daddy.
that worked. God. Oh, good, we got packing station
Hotlam
mark
5! Oh, the cool packaging station!
too. Yeah. That'll make Ellie's life so much easier.
I don't know what that
Yeah.
means.
I
You
can't
don't
wait
have to
until
drag
we
and drop
unlock the
anymore.
warehouse.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you just push a button.
I want to see.
I go
Hi,
get it for you.
Delta.
I'll just
Echo,
hack
echo.
the
Naughty
rest here real
Foxy.
quick.
Yeah, I'm making the good stuff. Vera, check your DMs.
But going back to dogs, I can ponder. Okay, good luck pondering.
Okay, I got
Oh
the
yeah,
packing
let's order
station.
more drugs.
Yeah. So I can grow more stuff. Perdón.
Hold on.
Perdón-moi.
Let me finish here. Okay.
Boom.
So fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I don't have
Employee.
trucks. Hold on.
What was the employer's name again?
Employee's name?
The town hall, the key thingy.
Oh, Jen.
Jen. Let me get a boombox. If I propose to her, maybe maybe she gives me that. Oh, she's not working today.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
You're cool.
No, you. Nerd.
Nerd. I need a packing machine like this in real life.
Why are you making weed?
That's all I'm
What
gonna
kind of
say
side
about it.
businesses are you running?
I have a lot of side businesses. But
If you,
of
if you need
course,
ever help with one,
obviously, none of them are drug related.
What the dog doing?
Hi, butt sex. It's so good to see you. Thank you for the follow.
I love that name, man.
I just want you to know you're my favorite person today.
I'm trying to get more people addicted to our weed, but they don't like it.
I could start making different mixtures. Probably get them more addicted.
Yeah.
Some of these.
I wish I could make money like that in real life with picking up trash.
Oh, I thought you meant for drugs for a moment.
Yeah, I
was
know.
about to
That's
say,
why that's
FBI,
why I
she's
worded it
joking.
like that. I wanted you to pause for a second. But yeah.
Doris
Hey.
Lubin!
Doris be loving our drugs.
She can love on this.
Hey, Quelly. Check the shelf.
Oh. Wait. This
I
one?
got you the new plant.
Are you scared? Pass it on. No, you are. How are you doing,
okay,
Vice?
Thank you.
So now you don't have to click. All you have to do is hold it down and it'll...
Why do we have cash in the storage?
Because Foxy put it there.
Oh.
She's being
Listen,
irresponsible with our money again.
in case the banks get hacked, you know.
That's...
Of course.
But the banks have insurance, Foxy.
What
No,
if
they
the
don't.
insurance gets hacked? Oh fuck! They're trying to arrest me because I was talking to a guy. Can you accept the messages? I'm fleeing.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm innocent.
Do you want them? Do you want night or late night?
Late night.
Late night, I got you.
I'm innocent. I bet this is because I'm German. Racist cops in this game.
Yeah.
We are in America, so I mean, it's kind of their whole thing.
I thought they loved
Hi,
the Germans.
Superfly. How are you?
Doris Lubin already wants 4 kush.
Yo.
Doris knows what she wants. Let's see.
An innocent in what world? In this world? I'm just a humble little silly drug dealer fox. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
Listen, if they say this is illegal, then they should do harder consequences. Actually, crack down on drug traffic and stuff. You know.
Ellie,
I mean, you're not wrong.
are you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's why I couldn't order more. I was trying to order more seeds and I couldn't.
Oh,
I'll
not
pick
bad.
them up for you.
Thank you.
Selling illegal substances. Well, if they don't like it, they should prevent me from doing it. You know.
I mean, she's got a point, gang.
Wrong, but...
She's got a point.
Engage. I'm glad to hear that, Super. That's a ghost ball. Are you accepting the trades?
Mm-hmm.
What the dog doing?
I've dropped the
Hello,
seeds in the
Jessica.
outside
Welcome in.
storage.
Thank you for the follow.
Nom, nom.
Oh, YouTube, right?
No.
Oh, so I couldn't
this
see
one-
that in the chat.
Oh yeah, I don't have a
Oh.
bot that tells me who follows me.
Oh,
I only see it in the activity feed.
Oh,
I'm one of those.
I see. Dude, I'm actually close to a 3K. That's insane.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Wait, let me check how close. Yeah, 52 people.
Oh, that's so close. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right.
Soon TM.
I kind of hope that it's, done before the end of the year.
I think you can get that easily.
I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you, friends.
Yeah. I could hear Ellie watering things through the wall. It just sounded like
That was
pissing
that
in a
was
Tuba!
storm.
Guys, we got another new customer.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It really sounded like you were just letting it rip.
Well, you know, sometimes you just need to let it go.
When a girl's gotta go.
Oh my
a girl's
god, you know
gotta
these
go.
moments when like you wake up because you have to pee so hard, and when you pee, it feels like you're sitting for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my
Guys,
god.
ever wake up in the middle of the night too tired to move but too full of pee to go back to sleep?
Yeah.
Piss your pants.
That's the worst thing, man.
I don't want to get up and move, but I got pissed.
Right?
Oh my god, PP.
Pee.
Welcome back, Limey. Hey, another new customer, let's go.
Oh,
That's cool.
man, the cartel's gonna beat our asses soon.
Good. I'm into that.
Hey,
What?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Who said
Who
that?
said that?
What?
I guess we'll never know.
Welcome back, Limey. It was Limey. I bet it was Limey.
Oh, Limey, why would
It's
you
always
say
the same.
that?
Jeez, Limey.
Goodness,
How could you?
goodness me.
Guys,
Limey's
I have a great
scandalous.
idea.
Are you wearing
Okay,
diapers? Oh no, it just looked like it.
wait, hang on. He's over there. Let me check his pockets.
What did I do? You know what you did.
Damn it. That crackhead doesn't have it either.
We got more customers. Let's go.
Let's go.
So I'm running to every person and be like, hey, you want drugs?
Drugs. Drugs.
Drugs?
Drugs.
Drugs?
Drugs.
I shouted, yes.
You shitted.
Shouted with shitting and farting.
Extra power.
You know when you fart and
mean,
you
don't you-
accidentally shit yourself?
That's normal. Couldn't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah, you went straight.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where's that guy? I'm trying to find him.
Are you
The
throwing
ins-
trash at me?
Yeah. We liked the trash last time.
I do. Oh, there it goes.
How did I never notice it had the prices on the side?
Oh my god. I
It
didn't
has
know
the
either.
value of everything on the side.
I didn't realize. Oh.
That would have been such nice information to have.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Man, I could have been so much more efficient in what I was picking up.
I would say the same, but I know I wouldn't be efficient anyways. Because I pick
I mean,
everything
you
up
are
like a
cleaning-
dog.
You are cleaning up the whole town and making it look pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go gamble now.
Okay.
Dude, I'm so high.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let's do this.
Yeah. I believe in you. Do you want me to wait to package things until you're back home, or do
No,
you
no,
want me to
you
start
go
packaging?
ahead, do it.
Okay.
I'm just doing it so I can feel like I'm doing something for the family business. You know what I mean?
Selling drugs, it's a family business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. This game is basically just a my dad simulator. That's crazy.
It is.
Is your dad rich?
Here's an overworked office lady called Lily.
Can you relate?
Yes. I pickpocketed Adderall from her.
Insane.
That poor lady needed that. You know she did. You just took that from her.
Insane.
Do you want
Man,
some
you're a
Adderall?
monster.
Can't believe
But
it,
what's the
dude.
ADHD med, right?
Yeah.
This is law
Mhm.
accurate because when I was 7, I got diagnosed with ADHD and I was on meds for like a couple of years. Man, this is law accurate.
Lore.
Lore.
Foxy lore. I just want you guys to know I have $1 in my pocket.
I have
put some Adderall
77,
in the
and I'm
thing.
about to have nothing if this fucking gambling shit keeps going like this.
Oh my god, Gamba, yes!
Are we gonna go Gamba? Oh lord. No,
I'm
no,
already
Fox,
way
you
ahead
have to
of
run
you.
all the deals.
Nibby, do the deals. I need to make Gamba.
No, I don't want to run around at night. I'm not
No,
good at it.
I run around. I just need you to accept the stuff and prepare the
Oh.
packages.
Yeah, I can do that. I was like, I'm not good at running around at night. I always get caught.
Yeah.
Hey, Ellie!
Hello.
Hey!
What's up?
What's up, homie?
Oh my god, it's actually going well. Maybe I should
Nice.
stop.
Okay,
Yeah.
how high do I go?
14.
All in.
All
You have
in?
100,
I'm going-
you
I'm
have
going all in
160
now.
packages that you can use.
Okay, I'm all in. Bro, it's
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
bro 17.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Hi, Piss Flowered. Thank you. I
I
will drink.
stand.
Go
Alpha
ahead.
dealer busts.
16. Fuck.
Bust? Like, wait, hang on.
What do I do? 16. I'll hit. 21!
Oh!
Oh!
Oh my god, I
Ooh.
got so much money.
Damn.
It's okay. We technically don't have a loss.
Guy
True.
greedy wants 9 kush.
Consumer cook. Ah, Ellie, run! Run, curfew! We
I don't care.
illegal!
I need to gamble. Shit,
God, you're so badass.
you're right. I gotta run.
Wait, this is a new thing.
What is?
Stash and dash.
No, that was always there.
I didn't know that.
Wait, what is stash and dash?
The storage area.
Oh.
That's sick.
Hello, I'm back home.
Hello.
Hello. I
I
lost
made
all my
money
money,
today.
but Ellie got it back.
Actually,
I went with $100 and got back with almost 350.
oh, let's go.
I
Huge
went there
win.
with 292 and I lost everything.
Okay, guys. I'm putting 32 purple quality weeds on the back shelf. Don't touch them because I'm going to use them for mixing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get a really high quality mix that we can overcharge for.
Yeah.
Okay, Walt.
And where's my money, bitch?
Hello.
Okay. How many drugs can I take with me?
Well, you have 4
You have a
stacks
lot.
here, and then you have another 4 stacks on one of the shelves back
I'll
here.
take 2 stacks with me in case if I need more, I'll pick up more.
My chat
Okay.
disconnected. The hell?
But what? You
Let me
disconnected?
test. No, just my chat.
Sometimes-
Like that thing that OBS does
Ah,
sometimes.
okay.
Oh, I hate when it does that.
Okay.
Did you guys see?
Same.
It did that to Queso for like, I think like 3 times in a row.
What the fuck?
The thing is,
Like his chat just kept disconnecting.
the thing is, Twitch shut down some servers in America and Europe.
Yeah.
So that happens more now. I really hope that is because they are upgrading existing servers.
Yeah.
I really hope that's the reason.
Let me put some of this up here.
Twerk it, work it, ayo.
Work it. Hold on.
Fuck it up.
That should look really funny on Libby's side.
It does.
How about this?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm, mm.
Okay, that's high quality. That's premium.
Oh,
Okay,
do
I'm
you
not
two
touching
remember
that.
my new VR model?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's so pretty, man.
It got
so
now like
pretty.
these like wet this like wet layer on the skin. Do you want to see it on the tummy?
Oh. Yes.
Soggy?
Soggy.
I'll send it in the group chat.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah. Soggy.
It's loading.
Send faster. Discord. Send faster. Please. Wow. That gives us so much detail too. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, can you accept quick the Keith deal?
Mm-hmm.
100. Oh, that looks really cool.
It does.
I like
Also,
that.
check the resolution of a picture.
Yeah, I just noticed.
Oh no, this NPC is not bugged anymore.
Hi.
Hmm.
Every time you turn and look at me. Like a night creature. God. Wait, hang on, let me. Here we go. God, it's so haunting.
Oh my god, I look like
asshole.
I look like a cryptid or some shit.
You do, yeah.
Hello,
Oh my
Tama.
Haunting the
God.
streets, schedule 1.
Oh god.
I think it's the tiny pupils that really do it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Hi, Tama.
Chewie.
Also, hi, Chewie.
Chewie.
Chewie is here. Oh, I
Hello,
need to get much
hello.
more weed.
Yeah, we have lots.
I've already
We have
used
so much.
40.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got more.
Thank you for helping growing the family business.
Okay, let me put.
We need drug
This-
dealer names.
Product tester.
Watch streak is now 23. Heck yeah!
Is that
So
not what I
should I
am for
try
the
to knock
family?
out? Should I try to
Well,
knock out
yeah.
Keith and take his key?
I mean,
Yeah,
you
if he still
could.
has it.
Okay, I'll
Just
deal
make sure he
him.
still has it. Deal him, take his money, knock him out, and then take the weed off of him so you can use it again.
Big brain.
That's a businesswoman right there.
Okay, I knocked
Oh,
him
my
out.
bad. Sorry.
Okay, his
No, you were
pockets,
there.
his pockets. Dude, his pockets are empty. What the fuck?
He probably his inventory probably cycled then.
Yeah, but I gave him the weed and all.
Oh. Damn, he scammed you before you could scam him.
Yeah, what the
Be
hell?
back shortly. Tama, just don't leave.
Yeah, just what do you mean come back shortly? Like, why are you leaving?
Do
you hate us?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What the hell?
Are you insane? Are you crazy?
That's insane. Like, oh, deal expiring soon. Oh, okay. Like, look at these
Oh, my
people
God,
thinking
they could leave.
they can leave. What the hell?
Yeah, I
Get back
imagine.
over here.
How do I look with the bat? Even more menacing.
Yeah. Hey. How those deals? I guess we'll get a good idea how much
Oh.
weed she needs every night.
Yeah.
Because what we started with 8 stacks.
Yeah.
I now used the third stack.
Okay. We might not have to grow anything tomorrow, Ellie. We might have a free day off.
That's
Yeah.
insane of you to think that we would actually let you out of this apartment.
I just want to feel the sun on my skin,
Crazy.
please.
You look like you need the sun. Okay, fine. You can go outside tomorrow.
I'm really scared when you guys get the sewer key and you lock me down there.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay.
There is a safe house down there where you can grow. You can grow
Oh, I
everything.
see. That's
By the
fun.
way, we need 4.5 stacks. I'm picking up the 5th stack right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Drugs.
there's 3 in there. Man, I'm gonna have to grow weed tomorrow.
Good morning, Kanin. How are you?
Kanin.
Hi, Kanine. Good morning. Why does this game have stupid resolutions? Like,
I don't know, dude.
I'm
It
kind
pisses me
of,
off.
I'm kind of annoyed by that. Why haven't they fixed that yet? It looks silly.
Because it's just one guy working on it.
That's fair.
Oh, yo.
My sleep schedule is so fucking 8 p.m.
Damn.
Welcome. Welcome in the club. Ah, fuck, man.
Right now?
Huh?
Sure. Wanna end
I'll
stream?
look away.
No.
I'll look away.
Oh, on stream. Okay. I
I'm no
guess.
pussy. We do it right here, live.
Okay.
I'll sit in the
Can
corner
you
and
can
cover
you
my
wait
ears.
first till I get my next Twitch payout because I wanna buy my niece a Christmas present?
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks,
Crazy.
homie.
Insane.
My sleep.
I think
it's-
Ellie's the type of friend which would just finish inside, throw $20 on your back, and be like, "That's enough."
Okay, hold on. Like $20 is a bit
minute.
much. Maybe like a 10.
Crazy.
Damn.
When she probably expects a Black Friday deal of me. Dude, that wheeze. Oh my god, I never hit you wheeze that hard. Oh my god.
I mean, is
Maybe I
there,
think Ellie's dying.
is there gonna be a deal? Yeah, that one got me good.
This is like these TikTok videos, you know, of like couples in restaurants. Being
Oh,
like,
Jade!
so can I hit?
We have a raid,
What a
guys.
moment to raid into.
Yeah, right. Hello,
Welcome in,
Pissmore.
raiders.
That's
Welcome
crazy.
to our Christian Minecraft stream.
Wait, hold on. My raid alert didn't work. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Are you
Oh
good?
shit! I'm tased. Ah!
Ryan! Don't let him cuff you!
I'm trying. I'm stuck. I'm tased. No, they're cuffing me. Ah!
Don't let him cuff you!
Ah!
well.
They're about to hit me with a car. Oh my fucking god.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Run!
Oh my god.
Run!
Parkour.
All right, hello raiders. Well, that chaos is going on. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a great stream. Thank you for the raid, Jade. I hope everything went well. What were you up to? Oh, were you just doing art stuff?
Oh my god.
What were you drawing? I gotta watch the VOD later.
I'm running.
But yeah, thank you for the raid. I hope you're doing well. All right.
I'm running. Oh,
Keep
we're
running,
fine.
keep running. I can't wait to see the mob coming after you when you come home.
They were piss warring in my chat, so I mean, oh no, the piss war is everywhere these days. That's really funny.
Wait, I forgot something. Check the ADM. Do you want to see how much we made?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Did you
looking at
grab
the
the
money.
couple? Did you grab the couple thousand you left on the shelf?
No, I didn't. But look how much we made.
Holly started it. I believe it, Teddy.
Oh.
Oh,
I just
Hell
doubled our
yeah.
money.
we got the 10K now.
We might be able to get another property with that, actually.
Oh,
That's
should I do
cool.
that next day?
Yeah. Let's go look at what properties we can get.
Yeah, so I can get lost
Yeah.
again.
Let's eep, gang.
Eep,
Okay,
eep, eep,
Let me turn everything off.
eep, eep. Cuddle pile.
Ellie, by the way, do you listen to Sullivan King?
I don't know who that is, I think.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, I'm really bad
Sad.
with like remembering names of like people. So maybe I listen
He's
to him, I
a-
just don't know
Yeah.
his name.
He's a very good-looking metalhead and dubstep DJ.
Oh, okay.
He's coming to my city in March. Found out today, so I'm definitely getting tickets.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
How long have you had that face tattoo?
You have a face
It's
tattoo?
you know,
Oh,
if you
shit.
nearly go to prison, you get some tattoos. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
What were you doing back there?
Guys, I'm waiting for the eep.
Yeah, let's
Oh.
go.
For once, it wasn't me.
87
Dude, look at the
years old.
earnings.
We made so much money, guys.
Insane.
I was working on my
Dude.
2.0 future design. Oh, Jade, that's so exciting.
What?
Can't wait to see it.
Ooh.
Oh,
Energy
thank you, Cozy
drink.
Mammoth, and thank you, Piss Flowered, for the follow too. Thank you.
That is exciting.
Ah,
Let's go look at what properties we can buy.
wait, where do we go
Okay,
for
first
that?
we buy something else,
Wait
okay?
for me.
Follow me.
Oh, it's Cozy,
Cozy
Mammoth.
Mammoth, thank you for the follow.
Hello, hello.
Do you have enough cash on you to get a skateboard?
I do.
Did you get the golden one, not the off? You,
That's
oh, you should have
crazy.
gotten the off-roading one so you can go on the sidewalks.
Well, there she
There
goes.
she goes.
Ooh.
There
Well,
she goes. Where do we look at the properties?
Oh, I will bring you. I will bring you. Come with me.
His
Look at
Flowered
what
has been
you-
following us all. Yeah, they've been around.
They've been pissing on all our flowers.
Pissing everywhere. As things should be.
I think it's down this way. And then we can cut
I posted a
across
prog on your
the
Discord.
sidewalk.
I'll check it in a bit. Thank you. I was gonna watch the VOD anyways, but you know.
Real
Here?
estate.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I never go over to the real estate. Oh, it's over here. It's over here.
Oh, this building.
We could get the storage unit and the bungalow.
No, the storage unit's not worth it. We should just get the bungalow.
You can get a barn?
Okay.
I want
Masturbation is a
barn.
form of witchcraft.
Soon. When we're making the big bucks.
Hey, Roy. I'd like to purchase a property, and I would like to get the bungalow. It's ours! Let's go!
Let's
go.
go!
Is it?
Now we
Let's
can
go,
move
let's
everything
go.
again.
Let's go.
Yay! Moving day! Moving day, moving day. Damn, look at you go.
She's so fast. I would get
Just
motion
fucking
6 so
boy.
bad on that thing. I'm not even gonna get one. I'm
It's
gonna be
actually
so
third
real with you.
person.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
fun.
third person.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I get so fucking nauseous on it. Too.
Yeah, I could not
Oh.
do that. I should actually.
It's late.
But can you do the deals?
Yeah, I'll grab them for you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I should increase the FOV a bit.
Well, see, with my browser still
that.
open, I'm losing so many FPS. On the
Oh, boy.
skateboard, I'm having like 20 FPS.
It was wild running up behind you and seeing you just vomit out a bunch of leaves like that.
Yeah, oh.
Wait, what? What did you do?
Coco, they were still.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, what?
No, if you adjust your settings, you apparently start vomiting leaves. No, but it still like registers as a left click, so you interact with whatever when you do your settings stuff, which is kind of silly. Okay. How do you pick things up?
Hold right click. Can you grab the small storage unit here with
Oh.
you? So because I got the wheat, and then we can start
Okay.
storing things over. Ooh, parkour.
Parkour.
You want to see me do some tricks?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's insane, dude. How you doing that?
So,
so that's
first you
where it
bend your
is.
knees
Okay.
like this, and then you do
Yeah.
ah
That's insane.
ah. Where's Ellie? Where's
Hold
Ellie
on.
redacted?
I was
Hello.
looking at
Hey,
stuff.
hey.
Hello.
Ellie, do you want to see some sick flips?
Yeah,
Okay, look at me.
I'm looking.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was sick.
ooh. Well, that's pretty sick, right? Ooh.
It's so stupid.
Wait, can I take the Adderall? I can't take the Adderall. Oh man.
No, that's sad. Why? What are you running with that?
That's crazy.
I wanted to
Ooh,
see if the
trash.
crackhead had a key.
Ah!
Oh, is this the new one?
Yeah, home sweet home, guys.
Eh, that's cute here. Hi, Ichika. Nice to meet you. First time viewer here. A VTuber from Japan. Hello. Why am I stuck? Oh my
Oh,
god.
welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Anybody else? Oh, yeah.
Did you
Hello,
place it?
Sari.
Ah, okay, you placed it.
Good job,
Is
Sari.
Sari
bot.
asleep?
Sari just strangled the absolute
bot.
life out of something.
I still see it on my chat.
Do you have Sari?
Yeah, but it says like it's in your chat, but it shows it here.
Oh.
Ellie, can you place in the moment the storage?
Yes. Where
Thank
should I
you.
place it? Right here? I'm up here.
Just place it somewhere.
Here.
Because I have so much kush with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Whoosh.
I
Kush.
just picked up stuff
Whoosh.
like on a whim. I should have probably paid more attention to what I'm actually picking up. Okay.
No, I grab stuff too, don't worry.
Okay. Is this the new area? It's cute
I'm
here.
running with scissors.
Don't do that.
I'm breaking the law.
Look at Ellie. What is it, Alpha? A proper citizen of society. Damn right.
You.
Picking herself up is correct. Are you calling me trash? You bitch.
That's crazy,
Whatever.
dude.
Whatever, bro.
Insane.
Oh wait, do we have deals? Ah, you did that stuff already. Thank you.
Do we need the trash can? Nah.
Nah, we have one at the house.
It's called trash can, not trash cannot.
Wow, look at fucking poet over here. Wowee.
You're just jealous.
I am.
My intellect.
Yeah. Yeah. I am so jealous. Yeah, that's it.
Guys, I have to
Yeah.
I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
I have to admit to something.
What are your sins?
I'm craving soup, and I do have soup in the kitchen.
You should make
Cook a
soup.
I do have
Do
soup.
it. Yeah, make
Make
it.
soup. Nerd.
Like right now.
Whoa!
Oh, I should probably put this in the house. Huh? I'm stupid.
Oh yeah, Nippy, look on the shelf here. Look,
Hmm. Hang on.
and Ellie, you too. Look, you can use that.
Do we have enough stuff for tonight?
Mia, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
4, 6, 73. We have 73 kush.
I'll
Do we
just
have enough?
put this here for now.
Did you just say 6, 7?
No, 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 no. No.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Motherfucker.
Ellie, run! Ellie, run!
Yeah,
Drugs
Nippy,
on me and everything.
punch
Oh,
me,
man.
Man.
please.
Oh, they let
You
me
make-
keep the...
You
Okay.
ducked under it as I saw.
Harder.
That's crazy, man. Why do I keep dying in this stupid game?
Nippy, you can't keep missing in front when
I'm
you're standing in
not.
front of me.
I'm not.
You are missing. I'm not taking any damage.
Let me keep the
Oh,
trash.
no. Why am I not taking damage?
I don't know, but I'm
Are you- are
definitely
you like-
letting you. Oh,
Ah! Are your arms weak or something?
how did I do that?
I don't
How
know.
did
Do
I
it again.
not hit you that many times and then?
It's a hitbox, maybe? Do it from where? Ah!
Oh. Uh-oh.
Wow,
Gotta go.
Nippy.
Gotta go.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I didn't do anything.
$250 bill? Man,
Well-
fuck America.
Deserved. Very deserved, actually.
Let's be honest, right? In Germany, for this, I would pay like max €5.
Yeah, but you're in America.
And they would apologize for having me pay that.
This is America, Lewis.
Not the Lewis.
America.
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 Fuck yeah. Not really, but you know.
Not really. Wait, Ellie, come here. Come here.
Where?
Come here.
Oh. Let's follow the shady part. Oh, is that that's the house, isn't it? Oh my god. There she goes.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait. Are you in the sewers?
No. America, fuck, end of sentence. Yeah. Wait, how do you just jump here?
You just spam jump, yeah.
Wait, where?
Wait.
Oh, you're doing that thing.
Yeah. Wait, I'll do that in a second.
Yeah. Be free, Ellie.
I'll be free.
Fly free.
Yay!
Oh my- Wait, how?
Stand here and keep pressing space. Whee!
Yippee!
If you guys sprint jump all the way to the back and all the way to the front again, you go into fucking space.
Hell yeah.
Well, but I'm not.
I don't.
I'm not allowed to go
So
to
high
space.
up.
I don't work for NASA.
Oh god.
You're supposed to
Thank god
work
this
for
game doesn't
NASA
have
to
fall
do that?
damage.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
Yeah.
actually have enough product for all these deals, so I'm gonna
We-
take it off the market.
No, keep it up.
Do we need to grow more
No.
stuff?
We work
No!
now. You know what we do? We fucking message Albert. We ask for more Kush seeds, and then
Okay.
we fucking grow product.
I don't have any soil.
Oh yeah,
because
we don't have
moved all the
soil.
Buy
pots.
We
soil.
don't have soil.
I
There's a
can't
gas
buy
station.
soil.
Where's the gas? Wait, does it sell soil?
I don't think the gas station sells soil. You only get it at the market.
I can soil myself.
Okay, well, I don't want to
Okay.
grow
I
wheat
don't-
in
I
that.
Well, they have a bed.
Oh man. Actually, maybe that would sell well.
Thanks for the hydrate battle,
Foxy
bro.
girl.
Yeah.
Shit, weed, yeah, probably.
Guys, where are you right now?
At home.
Come outside. Come outside.
No. Dark.
I want to show you something cool. It's
Yeah?
okay, I protect you. Look, I got a light. Follow me.
Okay. There's a cop over there. He's right there.
He's literally right there. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm going home.
Well, at least she didn't write something else.
I'm going home.
That could have got canceled really fast if she wrote another 3-letter word on that
Yep.
wall.
Wait, which one? Sex?
Sex. What?
No.
Wait,
No.
what?
The,
Which,
the other
which
one.
word?
The
Three
one
letter?
that's actually
Related to gay.
like the one that starts with F.
It's not 3 letters.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
The
it's
short
6. Are
version.
you
The
stupid?
short version of it. Oh my god. You are so stupid. The short version of it is 3 letters.
This is like a short version. Doesn't
Everyone.
look the same.
She had the audacity.
Behind.
She had the audacity to be like, "Are you stupid?"
Tummy.
Oh man.
Tummy hurts, dude.
Oh, I'm crying.
It was just the confidence behind. That's not a 3-letter.
Oh, I wonder how many are
Oh,
clipping us
man.
right now to get us cancelled. Chat, if you don't cancel us, I give this up next month.
That's crazy.
Not the IOU on the sub.
Ugh.
Oh god.
I'm crying.
Tummy.
I'm in pain too. Ugh.
Drink water, you
I
dehydrated.
drink.
God.
Thank you, piss flowered. I'll make more piss.
Oh wait, I still need to hydrate. Time to produce some piss.
I've already reached my jar quota. Thank you.
Well, how about being an
we still need to
overachiever?
produce drugs, maybe.
What?
Piss flowered, thank you so much for the follow. I just made some piss. Are you happy?
Drinking is just pre-ordering piss. Alcohol is just pre-ordering the deluxe edition piss. True.
Technically, you only got 2 minutes left to live, but every time you take a breath, you reset the timer.
Crazy. Also,
Maybe why
eating
are you inside of
asparagus
me?
is like pre-ordering like
Can you
premium
fancy
piss. Just in case you wanted to know that information.
Wait, why premium?
I don't know. Apparently, asparagus makes your piss like smell like really good. So it's like
I
it's
thought
like
it
a
made it
premium
smell
service
bad.
on those sites where you can sell your own piss.
Ellie, if I ever sell my piss just for you, I will eat asparagus.
That's
It's like
thank you.
a form of endearment, you know?
I don't even know what to
Drinking
say.
alcohol ages it, the notes, and intensifies the taste.
Eating beetroot pre-orders jump scare piss. True. True.
That reading that is time in my life I'll never get back.
You know what,
Piss
Piss Flowered? I appreciate
Hi,
your knowledge.
Crookie.
Cookie.
Why is the first thing I
Hello.
hear coming in is Ellie? So I'm not
Nippy,
telling my
I can pick
piss.
up drugs.
I'm just telling
she
people
goes.
how the piss business works. But hi,
You forgot your
Crookie.
skateboard.
It's okay, I'm faster without.
That's crazy.
You're literally not though. You're definitely
No,
not.
because I need to hide from the cops, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I hope you're
And
doing
from
well,
the
Crookie.
cops.
Cookie.
You're hiding from cops? Since when?
Well, yours is kind of scary. Like, I like it, but it's scary, you know? It's very intimidating.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
know, I
challenge.
understand. Challenge. Hearing that from a lesbian makes it even funnier.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
No, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
She called it a challenge. And I said that's kind of even funnier coming from a lesbian. Sure, just telling people, just educating Crooked, as I always do. All I do is educate people.
You know, it's funny. A couple days ago, someone followed me on Twitter, and they have the same first name as Nippy, and the first thing I read in the bio is lesbian.
I guess it's
What's
a gay
that?
name.
Was that?
Oh my god,
me?
more. Is it? Oh my god, more
Is that me?
lesbians? Yeah, yeah.
Nippy,
The fish,
follow,
the fish
follow
nibbler
me.
here is
Nippy.
also is a lesbian.
Ah.
Collects more lesbians. Crazy.
I think we're all kind of gay in some way.
I mean, I'm very gay.
Yeah.
Nippy, come here.
Ah.
Look.
Thank you. You got
Now
me
we can
10
get-
of them this time.
Yeah. So I need to go and sell our product.
And then in the morning, I'll get. Oh my god, we have 14.
Little boring at work debating on using vacation days, but the boss man is going, no, we'll have something for you. That's crazy.
How do Lebanese? What do Fuck you, Cricket.
Are you having a stroke?
Yeah, I think so.
The fuck you, Crooked.
Ooh, guys! I got the phone number of someone who sells pseudo.
Oh, let's go.
We can make. Yeah.
Oh my god,
We can
Nippy's
make more
tweaking.
drugs.
Yeah,
my
she
God.
is. Oh my god.
We can make meth.
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 The good shit.
But yeah, I think we are all at least 69% gay here.
Only 69.
Well, that's a funny number.
I mean,
I
I'm
said at
bisexual,
least.
but it's like 90% women and then the 10% some guys, which are mostly
No,
not even real, to be honest.
No,
I
same.
like men as long as they don't
Pyramid
exist.
head.
Same. No, same.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
There's like that 1% of like real men that I'm attracted to, but that's about it. The 9% is like
they are
fictional
video
men, and then
games.
90%.
They don't exist.
No. I'm talking about like actual real life men. That's the 1%. 9% is fictional
Aw.
men, and then the other 90% is just women in general.
Okay. Chat, hear me out. Woman.
Woman. We like woman.
Ellie, I have a question. What do you like more? Do you just like Ghostface, or do you like women in Ghostface costume?
Listen, women in Ghostface
Whoa.
costume are like top tier, like right up there.
Agreed. Okay.
Yes.
Lebib.
I have Lebiab breakdowns on frustration. Yeah, we feel that.
I'm surprised nobody has summoned in my wife yet.
Look at Ellie
I'm
being
surprised you
miserable and
haven't
alone.
summoned
What are you
your
on about?
Your wife.
Excuse
You know
me.
what? I will summon my wife. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, summon the wife.
Can you
Also,
say
fuck
hi
you,
from
Crooked.
me?
Fuck you.
So,
Summon her.
Ellie, will you have a lesbian
Yeah.
moment if I would stream Azure Lane?
Yeah, probably. I'd never played that
Because
game
if-
myself, but it is pretty hot.
I played it in the past, and a friend was playing it in BC last night. I was like, oh, I kind of want to stream it.
I mean, it's a good stream game, I would say.
It
Oh, look
is.
at-
It will. The
Ellie.
chat will be very dead because like typing with one hand is very difficult. But like, I think people would enjoy it.
crazy. That's
Ellie, do you
insane.
see what Cricket said?
Yeah, he can fuck himself. Ban that guy right now.
What did you say?
Look at Ellie being miserable and alone. Like, fuck you.
Look at you being sick for 4 weeks, Crooked.
Yeah, Crooked. Inferior
Yeah.
human being right there. Always sick.
Wow. Damn.
Wait. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
It's okay. It's okay. You get max 2 weeks from that. Asmongold told that already.
Crazy. Azure Lane is how I realized I wasn't into women. I mean, that works, right?
Valid.
Very valid.
Man, I'm so into women.
Of
Same.
course.
I love
Okay,
my wife.
what about woman but with muscle?
Wife.
Did you mean my wife?
Oh, I didn't
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's
No,
just do a few.
no, Ellie.
There we go.
Get that out of my chat. No.
Did any of you see
I
Buff Cup's
did.
new
I
model?
did.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
so
god,
pretty.
it's so
Yeah.
good. I want the waifu cup of her, but I'm broke. I need like $50 for that.
Yeah.
Because taxes.
Yeah, I was so excited to get Amelie's, and her cup went from 25 to like 43.
Man,
The heartbreak.
that
dude.
sucks.
I got it anyway. I'm
Hello,
all
look
bad
are we
who's
done?
financial
back.
decisions.
Look who's back.
Oh, Tama! Wow. Tama.
Look who's
Welcome
back.
back, I
Oh,
guess.
look who left.
How dare you leave in the first place? Are we eeping? Bitch. Bitch.
God.
She said bitch while rubbing her panties in my face. This is wild.
Do you like the aroma? I
I
worked
do.
hard on it
Tastes
today.
very good.
Yeah, you can taste my day. Just go to fucking sleep already. I'm over this day.
We didn't make that much. I think we missed a few deals.
We didn't have the supply.
No, no. Nibby,
Mixing
oil!
station.
Oil!
Oh, oil!
Oil!
Every American parking up immediately.
They all. What? We are not cavemen.
Okay, all right. Hey, whatever you say.
Hang on, I gotta kick her ass. Hang on.
Wait.
Get
Okay,
back over
my
here.
chat. My chat. Would you guys want an Azure Lane stream next week?
All right. We need to get
My
soil.
chat. Wake up. Do you want Azure Lane? I forgot the skateboard, man. That's a yes.
Do we need...
If you're getting soil, get the blue soil. The
The
extra
blue one?
long
Okay, I'm
stuff.
just checking what we need. We need some baggies as well.
Baggy.
Baggies.
I stole $4 from Lily.
Insane. I think we got the extra big mixing machine too.
Yeah, we got the second version.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I forgot where I buy that. I think it's in the warehouse.
Oh.
Hi.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Go ahead. I'll open the door for you.
Thank you. I'll go get Benji as a dealer so we can start moving the quest line forward.
Okay, how much cells should I buy?
I think we
No, we
have
just need to hire
6
him. We don't
maybe?
have to give him anything, right?
Yeah, we just have to hire him to move the quest line.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
I can't talk to him because I
Maybe
wasn't
I'm
recommended.
ordering.
Oh, good, and we're good enough reputation with him that we can get larger amounts.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
But we still have 14 seeds.
No, I'm getting us a bit more, you know.
Go be stocked up.
Can you get us more storage? Storage.
Oh, yeah.
More shelving? Yeah, I can get more shelving. Don't forget to talk to Benji because I can't talk to him.
I'll do in a moment. I'm going to Albert quick.
Oh my god, Ellie, I found the fucking mother load for you.
Oh my god, what?
Go to the motel room.
I will.
Maybe
Yeah. Look
I
in
got
here,
you
look in here.
something.
Look in here.
Let's go. Okay, hold on.
You got me a present?
Guys, I fucking
Yeah.
hate Sudoku. Why?
Same. I'm not smart enough for that. Just look at the shelf with you know, the seats.
Oh, in the house? Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super real with you. I love Sudoku. I'm one of those nerds that just plays Sudoku for fun.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know. I know. Whatever, guys. Fuck you guys.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
I do crossword
perfect.
puzzles for fun. I'm
Yeah,
old.
see? I'm not that bad.
I'm an old lady. Holy shit! How in debt are we?
Not at all. I paid directly.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Ellie,
wow.
did you see how much she got us?
No, I didn't. How
Oh my
much?
god! She got us 54 seeds.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
It's an insane amount. I'll never have to leave the house again.
But is it a complaint or a shout of happiness?
Well, we're in a bigger house now, so I have more room to run around.
Dude, honestly, I don't mind
feel
staying
like the
at home
fucking
for a couple
family
days
dog.
without leaving, as long like, you know, I can like change rooms and stuff, you know.
I feel like the family dog, the way I'm like, yeah, well, I got more than one room to run around in now. I'm so happy.
Wait, so every time the police drives by with like the sirens, they're gonna start barking, be like,
That's crazy. It's not that I don't know how to play
My
it. I play it all the time, but I fucking hate it. Fair.
Ellie, look at Nibby living the Asmongold lifestyle here.
That's crazy.
Leave me in my pile of trash alone.
How do I rotate? Oh, there we go.
Nibby is a roach queen.
Oh,
No, don't
hold
say
on.
that.
I'll just
I want
place all
soup.
of these here. You can never complain about not having enough storage.
Oh. Oh my.
We actually should produce more wheat. We need more of these big grow boxes.
I was waiting until we had access to the warehouse.
Oh, we do. We
As
do.
in,
We can
have access to the
contact Shirley
warehouse?
now. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, well
We
then
can
I'll go
hang
to
out with
the
Shirley now.
warehouse at some point. I mean, if you guys will let me out of the house, that is. I'll
I
go to
guess
the
so.
warehouse
You know
and get us
what?
some wardrobe beds.
You know what? That one time we allow it.
I guess it's fine.
Yay!
3 customers to Benji. I'll just do this quick and then unassign just so the quest is done.
You know what the funniest part about us living in this house now is I don't even have to go to the gas station to get ingredients. I can order it straight to the house.
Oh my god.
But it's so expensive!
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not that
It's like
expensive.
$200 extra! We are super broke. We got like 3 grand.
We
We're
just
not that
bought a
broke.
house.
Yeah, we need to make money.
Oh, they're too large.
We
Fuck you.
will.
Oh, maybe.
Don't yell at me.
Ah! I'm just kidding. You know what? I'm stealing
Okay,
one
Holly,
of the
thank you so
coop.
much for the lark. I
Oh,
only saw
my
that now.
cook.
I'm sorry.
My cook.
Bye-bye, Holly.
Did you drink my cook and throw it on the ground? What was that noise?
No. No.
Hmm. Oh boy, there it.
Look
No.
Good God. Hold V. Look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Oh my god.
You are fucking wired. Wait. What do I look like if I drink this?
Jesus Christ.
Oh. I feel great. I feel like Ellie right now.
Oh jeez. I don't need that drink.
Look at me.
Wait.
That's my default state.
Hi.
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 Hi. I really
your
like how
eyes
your
closed
pupils are
again.
just blobs.
Thank you.
You're just moving it back and forth. Oh no. Guys, don't do drugs.
Do them all. Do them all.
We need more drugs. Why is no
Oh,
one
Rowan,
calling us for
Rowan.
drugs? Did we all like fucking
They're
die or
not
something?
listed on
Oh.
the market.
Oh my god!
We didn't have any supply.
Yeah, we need to.
I bought so much, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
did the
make it
bike
back.
miss? Wait, did the bike actually miss? Or is it just
We'll make
not
it back
connected?
easy.
Hi, Shadow. Hi, Kite. Yes.
Sorry, I completely scammed you out of that, Greasy. I'm a scammer,
I'll
guys.
be right back quick. I'm getting some
Scam
soup.
artist. Okay, do you still want all the orders for late night?
Yes, always.
Okay.
Thank you.
Late night. Late night.
It should hopefully work now.
Had to let out the aggression from studying, but he got scammed out of that.
Oh, I'm so
Oh.
sorry. Listen, listen. You know what I'm gonna do?
Ellie's packing station over here.
Greasy, I'm gonna do something for you, okay? Don't worry, you can take out your aggressions in a second. Hi, Noah. Okay, Greasy. I changed the bike redeem for you. You can spam it now, and it only costs one point. Go ahead. Take out your
Ah.
aggression. This better work, though.
Insane.
Why is it not working? Wait. It's not working. It's not working. I think the programs is just like not working.
The program being funky.
Yeah,
Stinky.
absolutely.
Stinky.
It is connected. Got scammed out of even more points. I didn't mean to.
Damn.
Man, here I am trying to be like nice to him for once, and then it's not working. That's insane work.
Is it tits that's not working, or is it mix it?
Mine doesn't go through mix it up at all.
Oh.
Did you make sure? Yeah, I mean it was working like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, whatever. I'll just turn those redeems off.
Also, I don't think I can use tits on my PC.
Is it too heavy?
Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden, when I had it open, my whole PC locked up. I had to force restart it.
Oh, what the hell?
Hello.
And it
Okay.
only happens when I try to use tit, so I guess I can't have the throwable stuff.
Hello, I'm back.
You didn't
Hello.
see both of the alpha. It's always like that. It only has to be the first option. It's always been like that.
Yeah, Alpha, you nerd.
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 Oh, we need to talk to Uncle Nelson on the phone.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna tell us, I think, about the warehouse. Where did I put the watering cans and everything? Ah, this one. Put it on this one.
He wants us to buy the mixing station.
Hold on.
Yeah. I mean, it should be, yeah, it should be open if you want to run over there.
On my way.
Yes, Alpha. Both things are connected. Like, hold
We can
on.
get
I'll show
some more
you.
grow pots while you're there, too.
Okay.
My
Wait, the
mom's
warehouse?
here!
Like, see, both are connected
Yeah, the
just
warehouse.
fine.
Hello, Mom.
My mom is here. My mom's
Are you
gonna
doing
watch me
drugs?
deal drugs.
Yes, yeah. So do you want some?
Alpha, what is that emote?
Wait, let me
It's
start
so
it up
cute.
as the leaf emote. You mean?
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
Emote, the little sitting cat.
Oh yeah.
It's so
Wait, what do
cute.
I need to buy? Mixing station?
Yeah, get the mixing station and get the what's the word I'm looking for?
Okay, let me try
And
this
some grow
again.
pots. You don't have to get the suspension things or anything yet. Just get the grow pots themselves.
The moisture pressure pots?
Yeah.
How many?
Start with like 4 if you can get them.
I'll just turn off the throwables, guys. I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh, you're good. Hello.
Hello.
You scamming
Oh
them.
my god. No. I'm giving out all of the refunds right now.
Isn't that gonna spam your thing?
Well, not if it's working anyway. If it's not working anyway, so you know,
Oh, fair enough.
might as well.
Well, I hope she doesn't get caught with all those grow pots in her pocket. Oh, thank you, Piss Flowered, for the drink. It is my turn to make more piss.
Yes. Make all of the piss.
You know what?
Oh.
For the rest of the collab, I will be a very nice person.
What?
Yeah?
Yes, I will not bully.
No bully?
No bully, like at all?
No bully.
Oh. I mean, I guess.
I guess.
Believe me.
I believe you.
You don't sound like that.
Hey, I
Here,
believe you.
Nippy, I got you something.
You got me a present? Hang on,
Hmm.
I'm grabbing all this. Got me a present? You got the suspension racks too?
And the
Oh.
lights.
Oh my god. I've been
Yeah.
spoiled. Oh, and Ellie, I'm gonna
What?
put
Yeah?
some of the weed on your shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, how much weed do we have? Because in 1 hour the shift starts.
We have 56 unpackaged.
But I need that.
There we go.
Alpha.
Oh.
Jesus. Okay, Greasy, you got all of the refunds and even more.
Hell yeah. Greasy's winning.
I'm watching Ellie work now.
Don't look at me. I'm
You're
nervous.
breathing down her neck weird.
But I think you look very elegant and graceful while packaging the weed.
Yeah, with no pants on and like huge eyes.
Hmm.
Mm,
Better for seeing you.
Very, very, very demure.
very
Very mindful. Fuck yeah.
demure. Put this up here real quick.
Grab this.
By the way, do you want to see
look
how my
for the pet.
taskbar looks like for streaming?
Wait a minute,
do you
that
mean?
was the pet that my mom redeemed 4 fucking minutes ago.
Wait, what? It's just everything like a bit delayed right now?
I guess. Insane. Oh, I think
The Mimi, thank you for the follow.
Hi,
Yeah,
Debbie. Hello,
Demi.
hello.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Check the group chat. Look how much stuff I got open.
Aw. Oh my god. I don't wonder if your CPU's fighting for his life.
Wait, let me see.
See, that's why I
Jesus
mentioned it a
Christ.
couple of weeks ago that he's a strong boy.
It's very strong.
Yeah, we're not kidding.
Benji says, hey boss,
Hello,
I've run
how
out of
are you,
product.
Demi?
I thought for a moment you meant the other VTuber, Diminishki. I thought you meant this Demi. I was like, huh?
Hello?
Hello.
Wait, where do you want the finished product? Over here?
Yeah,
or-
that's a good idea because then I can just grab it.
Yeah. Take the skateboard off the shelf, though. Do you need it?
Okay. Okay. Okay, I got 42 hours with me.
I'm
Be safe,
working on
soldier.
more.
I will start, but I will definitely need more.
Yeah. I got you. I'm good. How are you
Hello,
all
Trent.
doing? Doing good, Demi. Doing good. We are having a beautiful family business here.
Yeah, we all have
Yeah.
our roles.
I'm the dealer. See, we don't need Benji for that.
Oh, we
Oh
can
good,
hire
we can
more
hire Molly
dealers.
too.
Nice. I don't want Molly. Well, wait. I bought the mixing station. I placed it. Why does it still not mark the quest? Did I bought the wrong thing?
Yeah, you bought the tier 1.
Fuck.
It's okay. We can sell it to on a Thursday. We can sell it to the guy at the pawn shop.
I didn't know that.
You sell it on Thursday because then you get a higher profit.
Yeah. Do you want to sell this high quality premium stuff, or do you still need that?
If we need it, pack it and sell it. So I
Well,
can always
not
grow more.
quite yet. It's fine.
Are we already growing more? Because I definitely need more.
Yeah, we're growing more.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, gang.
Yo. Did you just teabag me?
No, I would never do that.
Toxic. Is
You
friendly
look
me
like you did
scary,
the
by the
little
way?
crouch. Is who scary?
Is me being nice and not a bully scary?
A little. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Should I
I
insult
kind of-
you or something?
Yeah. Please, actually.
Okay,
Like,
Ellie.
yeah.
Du bist ein Eierloch.
Okay, never mind. Be nice again. I don't like that word.
Wow.
You bitch.
Ooh, Ellie, do you want to see a trick?
Yes.
If you put everything in a big pile here, put everything in a big pile.
Yeah.
And then you take one of the trash bags. You can pick it all up and.
Oh, if you can pick it up with the trash. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an AOE.
Okay.
It's
How many
AoE
piss strains
attack.
you've got you've all got so far? I'm not sure.
Oh, prophet of the piss. What is my fortune?
We have lots of piss though. I can tell you that much.
I missed a piece. We have trash.
Okay, I need more. I need more drugs.
What drugs?
Yeah, we gotta package the purple stuff. Let's package the purple stuff.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause I can always grow more. All
Yeah,
I need
alright.
is fertilizer.
Let's do it like this then.
Alright, let me start looking through my recipes and see which mix I want to do so we can start making like super big bucks.
Yeah,
You have
big
that stuff
money.
written down?
No.
Oh no, that laugh. Oh no. I think I challenged the
No.
demon.
I'm not a nerd. I don't have that written down.
Right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're not nerds, we're cool.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Definitely don't have it saved or anything. That'd be weird.
Yeah, that would be so weird. Who would do that?
Chat, you're cute.
The low cost, high return.
No, you frick you.
Damn.
Let me make you compliments. Nerd. Ha.
Yeah.
I'm done with drugs.
Oh, are we done?
Y'all done?
Yeah, I didn't have to
Let's
package
go.
the premium stuff then.
It's okay. Hello. What a nice little system we got built up.
Yeah.
Ellie nerd.
What?
Ellie nerd.
That's what the chat says.
I'm not a nerd.
Ellie nerd.
No,
Ellie nerd.
that's crazy.
Tee. Tee.
I'm not bullying. Mm-mm.
Bully.
I'm being wholesome right
bully,
now. I'm being very nice and
Bully.
friendly.
Right.
Bully.
Also, that soup was very delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Flavor.
it was soup flavor.
Soup flavor.
Mm.
It had leek, celery, carrots, potatoes,
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm
rice, noodles, meatballs, and lots of herbs, and was very spicy.
hungry. I'm hungry.
Me too.
You want some soup?
Yeah.
Ew.
Okay, come over.
I forgot to pull the beef out for tonight.
Oh,
Go,
do
go,
it
go,
right
go,
now.
go, go,
Do
go,
it
go.
right now.
No, it's
Do it.
fine. I'll just make a smaller batch of lasagna.
Aw, man.
Do it, no balls.
No, it's okay.
But what if you want more lasagna?
Well, this will be the test batch then, because I've never made lasagna like this.
Ooh, fancy.
Hello.
I got your nose.
No. No. No.
Wait, look at me.
Beef.
Oh no, she got it.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. Oh no. Beef.
No.
How dare you?
Tee-hee.
You're like a
Why are you
feral
pressing
animal.
a garbage bag against? Why are you pressing a garbage bag against the window? Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Hey.
Maybe
Don't judge what
Ellie
she
is
does in
rubbing
her
a
time
garbage
off.
bag over the
Right.
window. And now
She's
she
having
flew it
fun.
across the room. Oh my god, it sounds like someone's pissing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really the chug.
Exactly.
It actually does.
It does sound like
through
piss.
the wall. It does sound like pissing.
It really does.
So that's why the wheat grows so well.
Yeah, but don't tell Ellie I've been using her piss supply, okay?
That's
Okay,
where
okay,
all my
okay, I'll be
piss
quiet.
jars go.
Ellie,
What?
this is just a dream. Go back to sleep.
Oh, wait.
Oi!
No, don't kill me again. Don't kill me again. Not at night.
Stay outside and think about what you did.
No.
No, please, I want to come home. I want to come home. Let me in.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, we
Look at
got
her.
so many
She's
planting
standing there.
boxes now.
Let
You're
me
Wait.
in.
You look so fucking high.
Let me
Alexa,
in.
piss on my weed.
Let
Welcome
me
in,
let
Demi.
me in.
Say please.
Please.
And the magic word. Say the magic word.
It's the magic.
It's just say the magic word.
I thought please was the magic word.
No, say the magic word.
Alakazam?
I said say the magic word.
Is this a literal thing or is there an actual magic word?
I wanted you to just say the magic word.
Oh,
Oh my god, even the dog outside is making fun of us.
Oh, my God.
man.
Oh look, we got RGB.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We're a gamer house.
RGB.
Gamer lights that we got in here.
Oh, we can sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep, sleep, sleep.
Dude. 59 kush.
Whoosh.
Kush.
Wow.
Okay, I'll get us the mixing station.
Thank you, Dragon, for the follow. Thank you. Welcome in.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hop, hop. Hee hee. I broke out of the house. Hee hee. Hee hee.
Crazy. She managed to escape.
We got another customer. But I'll get everyone addicted now, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I believe.
I'll do my best. Hello, Charles. Do you want some weed? Some OG Kush?
Yellow Charles.
He doesn't like it. He's such a nerd.
What if you hit him over the head with a bat? Will he like it then?
Probably.
Long term. Oh, it's punching me! He got
Hit
balls!
him harder! Hit him harder!
I'm running away from him. Help!
No, hit him
Help!
harder! Oh my
I need
god.
help!
Where are
Help
you?
me!
Not my fight, gang. Not my
Oh
fight.
no, you're
Not
missing again.
having.
Oh! Oh!
Ow! Ow!
Hit him!
Bitch!
he's feisty.
Fuck you.
Joe, he had Red Bull and $23.
Oh, sick. Now
He
he's
was living
poor.
life.
Oh my god, look at me zooming. Oh my god.
Where did you even
Look
Did you
at me.
drink the Red Bull?
Meow.
You're so fast. He hitted me really hard.
Do you want some
I
Red
get a
Bull?
cook. I gotta get a cook.
Cook.
Cook. That's how you heal.
What do you do? I need to
That's how you
cook.
heal.
Hello, I want to cook.
Cock,
Yeah, that too.
as Greasy would say.
Cocking.
Cocking.
Oh, I'm not fast anymore. Okay, I'll get the mixing station.
We can't get it until 6 p.m.
I see that. That's how it works.
Trust, I will find the way.
All right. I believe. Okay. Okay. How much product we get out of that? All right. I'm gonna take a stack of this and I'm gonna mix it, and then we can test the market with the new stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go spend a bunch of our money. Don't be mad at me.
That's okay.
Gasp.
Gasp. Okay, okay. I would like to purchase your finest drugs, please.
Drugs.
Drugs. Let's see. This one gets us a decent amount of profit without spending too much money, so we're gonna do this one.
Look at her reading her nerd notes.
You guys are gonna like this one. There's Viagra in it.
Oh,
There we go. Okay.
your
So we
finest
need
drugs, me lord.
Your finest drugs, my lord.
me lord.
My liege.
No cringe.
But what if cringe?
No cringe.
This one. No. I need 20 of this one and 20 of bananas. Purchase. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, okay. So we start with the mouthwash. Are you guys paying attention? There will be a test.
Huh?
No. Huh? So since Nibby got the gift a moment ago, I got another. I got also a gift for Ellie now.
Oh yeah, yeah. What did you get, Ellie?
I hope it's
You will
trash.
see. It's better.
Infinite amounts of trash bags.
Oh, I would be so happy.
It's too trash.
Too trash?
Oh my god. Our cup runneth over.
Okay, are you in the house?
Yeah.
Okay. This is for you.
Oh my god, a toilet! Let's go!
Oh my god.
You
Just be careful
spoil
what you
me.
drop in there, because you can flush stuff with it. You can flush anything with it.
Okay.
And now we can play games and when we oh my god, there are actually games on it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mm. Okay, mix up the rest of this. While that one's mixing, we come over here. We put this
Hello,
in
Anab.
it.
Hello, hello. It has hello, Sippy.
Hello,
Hi,
Anub.
Anoop.
How are you, Anub? Get that
Hello.
mixed up.
Oh fuck, I ate my own tail. I got a score of 17.
Let's go. Wiener.
We've got so much trash.
Oh yeah, I'm piling it up
Trash.
so I can pick it up in one go.
Why do we have a dead
Huh?
guy in front of our house, guys?
Don't
What
worry about
happened?
it.
Okay.
I got a little
that
violent.
guy.
He got a little violent, so I'll admit I kind of got a little
okay.
violent.
All right. No, I understand. It was self-defense. I get it. Hi, Bastion. How are you?
For a moment I thought you were going to swing your bat as a gift, right?
Dude, I would cry.
Don't cry, I gave you this amazing toilet.
I am. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Here we go.
You can flush trash down the toilet.
Yeah. You can flush anything apparently.
That's
No bike.
sick.
No bike. I'm sorry. Everything is broken today, and this time it's not my fault.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
For
Greasy's
once.
fault.
I tried my best to reconnect everything, but it's not working.
Oh my god, you're so fast. Yeah, we need a lot of kush. I put the purple stuff back on the shelf.
okay. I'm doing a test batch so we can see how well
Yeah,
it'll
I'm
sell.
gonna grow more stuff here, I guess.
Wait, we're making meth now?
No.
Or why
I'm
did I hear
making
microwave?
I'm making a mixture.
Ooh. Some say if you smoke enough meth and you flush yourself, you end up in another dimension. Oh my god, we're gonna try that. Also, hi Bastion, how are you?
I want to land in another dimension. Yeah. Sorry, I'm pissing.
Somebody pissing.
That's our piss tuber.
Yeah, you know it.
Our piss prophet.
Why did I?
Piss queen.
We've been live for 2.5 hours, and I
Lewin!
haven't
Oh.
had to go to the toilet yet. Something is wrong with me. Am I?
Oh,
Am
now
I
you
dying?
jinxed it. Now you jinxed it.
No, I don't
You
feel the
probably
need
have to
to
pee in
pee.
like 10 minutes.
I hope so.
In 10 minutes, you're like, oh, I need to pee.
I feel
Piss like a
uneasy.
racehorse.
I want to piss. Can't have that.
Dude, I actually have to pee.
Go piss, girl.
I'm waiting until Ellie has to go, and then we can go together.
Why?
You guys gonna hold hands?
Yeah. You don't do that?
Nobody will hold my hand.
Oh, we should hold hands next time we need to pee.
Okay.
Oh, the grow pots are bugged out for me again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What happened?
Ah,
You know when you have to bury the seeds after you
Yeah.
drop them in, it doesn't show me visually where the dart is, so I just have to click randomly and hope that I get
Oh.
it.
That must still be a multiplayer bug. I know he's still
maybe.
fixing them.
Oh, this one works. I'm not sure why some of them are just bugged out for some reason.
Okay, chat. I will be right back quick, okay? I need to pee. You listen to Ellie and Nibby, okay?
Yeah.
And one of you
Yeah.
please accept more drug deals for late night. Be right
I
back.
will. I will. Late night. Late night. Hello.
Hello. Don't mind me, I'm gardening.
Beautiful garden.
Being very demure and cute.
Hell yeah. No problem, I'll go for you because I gotta go pee. Hell yeah. Okay, what do we want to name this first mixture?
Oh. Should we name it after chat?
Yeah.
Should we name it Demi?
Demi? Okay.
That's the first name I saw while looking at chat just now.
Alright. Demi is a thought-provoking, balding, tropic thunder, anti-gravity, gingeritis mix.
Alright. You heard it here first, Debbie.
Although I lost 3 because the multiplayer bugged out a bit and wouldn't put the
no.
correct amount in the mixer, so we lost 3, but that's okay.
That's okay.
We'll
Defend
still
yourself,
make plenty
Demi.
of profit. there. Put that there for now. Oop. More requests. That back clear. Oh my goodness, everybody wants to know. Please. Slow down with your requests.
No.
Ah. Put that over there. Pick this up. Put this over here.
I'm back.
Welcome
Hello.
Sorry, I had to pet my cats.
All good. Understandable.
They were like, please give pets.
Please, mother. We demand love.
Mother,
Mother, please.
can I sell drugs now?
Yeah.
Oh god,
be free.
we got more offers. We got more offers. Ah,
Yeah.
Oh, I missed one. Oops. Also, we have a new mix. It's named after Demi.
ooh. Oh, what does it do?
It's over here on the shelf.
Can I try it?
I want to try
If you
one.
want to. Got speedy too, though.
Okay. I'm trying. Wait, someone else tried as well.
I am. I'm currently smoking it.
Damn, your age really is showing.
Well,
You guys like it?
it's great.
I'm thrilled.
This is great.
Fucking aliens.
Oh my god, the echo. Whoa!
Yeah. Go outside and jump.
Oh, hell yeah.
Watch out for the cops.
Drugs are so cool.
In game, guys. In game.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Imagine you go up to your cats and they just say, "Mother, I crave violence."
Wouldn't be the
I
first
am the
time.
cat that craves violence.
That's so real.
What was that noise?
Don't worry about it.
I feel like maybe I should worry about it.
You should probably worry about it.
Cops outside.
Imagine you go
Yeah,
up
no,
to your
but
cats and they just say, "Mother, I crave." Oh my god, that would be. It would be cool, but also kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Crave violence.
Why scary? We like violence.
Yeah.
Carrie, come home.
Wait.
How goes the garden?
It's going great.
I love how fast they grow with these lights.
They're
It
great.
sparks joy. soon.
This is such a chill game, and I love it.
It's
Right?
nice. It's really
We're
nice.
doing our little tasks. Like the little drug lords we are.
And once we have insane money, we go buy like the barn or something, and then we hire employees and they automate everything.
And then we can go gamble
Gambling.
Yes.
while our workers and our dealers make all the money for us.
That's cool. Are we out of soil? I think we are. Okay.
Yeah. We gotta go to the hardware store in the morning. Let's see, we'll have to get at least, we should probably get at least like 20 bags so we don't have to buy much for a while. What am I hearing out here?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm
Yeah, I
just
think
gonna
we
go
should
back
be
inside.
worried.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Are you sure about that?
I'm worried about what she'll do to me if I'm worried about it.
Okay. That's fair. I would be too.
Time to piss.
You're saying that makes it so much. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Shadow.
What the hell is she doing?
Ooh.
You.
I'm selling drugs.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing something shady. My bad.
I mean, I'm selling drugs.
What? So what? That's normal stuff.
Right?
That's girly
I
things.
need more drugs, by the way.
Just girly things, you know?
And then come get them.
Yeah, just saying.
Come get them.
There's nothing in the small storage rack.
Hold on.
You're not looking hard enough.
I'm looking at Ellie right now because she
Oh.
didn't package her stuff.
I'm packaging right now, dude. Take your shit
Not
and
enough.
leave.
Make me. I just remember something. What is it, Tama? What did you remember?
Do you remember?
Hi, Arcane.
I don't. Hi, Arcane.
Arcane, hello. How are you? How are you?
Not enough, she
And
says.
then an
come in,
archive release
come in.
today.
Takes
Oh,
everything.
cool.
Go and put more weed on your
Thank
shelf.
you.
I'm gonna throw away all these leaves too.
Damn, I'm making some money right now.
Yeah. We'll probably have to get the laundromat soon.
It looks like it.
Have 2 Christmas craft fairs at the end of the week. Oh, holy shit.
Those are nice.
Hell yeah. But so busy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, though. I hope you
Where's
sell
Kim gonna
everything
mail
you
about it?
bring.
Oh, I don't know if I told you to, but I've ordered the new
Ooh.
CPU.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I didn't know.
It
Yeah.
should arrive between the 1st and the 8th of December.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
I still need
For sure.
thermal paste, though.
Nah, just put it in there with a little bit of water.
Yeah,
Good
that should,
Nice
idea.
do
lube
it.
on it.
That should be just fine.
Oh.
I saw water inside the skate park.
Because it rains,
Oh,
presumably. I think he wants to add weather systems to the game eventually.
Oh.
So like it will actually rain and everything. Thermal pasties.
oh wait. Do I need to buy mixing station 2 or mixing station 1?
2.
Okay.
Oh, good. The final one's finally done growing.
By the way, check the ATM.
Yeah, looking.
We're now at our limit for this week.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get the laundromat. That's okay. We can put the money on a shelf until we can get the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can afford it. I have like 7 grand in my pocket.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the laundromat.
Uncle
and start laundering money.
Nelson.
Uncle. Just remember not to get caught, because the cops will take all that money.
Would be funny though.
Dude,
It would be funny.
Just saying.
It would
We
be
got-
content.
dude, we got 3 mixing stations and like it doesn't count for the quest.
Well, you gotta place down the special one.
Yeah, that's what I did. Man, it's bugged.
Hmm.
Don't tinker with it in the
Shy.
morning when I can run around. It might
Okay.
need to be placed specifically in the motels. Some of the early quests are weird like that.
Yeah, we should.
See,
What's that
beep.
noise? Stop gooning! Oh, by the way, I found something.
Who's gooning?
Who's gooning?
Look what's in my hand.
Oh, key.
Key!
Oh my god.
Should we go?
Oh, not tonight. Not
Right
tonight.
now?
Let's sleep and save.
Yeah.
Okay, saved. Okay, you want to sleep?
Sleep. I'm tired.
Look how much money I made.
Damn. Oh shit, we gotta up to 93.
Mega bean.
Oh, that's a lot of production.
Machete.
Ooh.
Now we're talking.
Maybe 9.
Hmm.
9.
I'm going.
Okay.
It can only stop one of us.
Go, Ellie. Go. Be
I'm
free.
going.
Ellie! Ellie!
What?
Eierloch.
Wow. Wowie.
You know, if you keep saying that, she's gonna get the machete and use it on you.
Do you hear how she's talking to
Not
me?
if I deal emotional
She's so
damage first.
mean.
Man.
Wouldn't the
What do you mean?
emotional damage?
Ellie walked
just
up to
fuel it?
us twice, punching us without the reason.
I had good reason.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Her reason was she wanted to hit us.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? That's a good reason.
See? Why am I being hated on for being a normal person?
Sorry, force of habit.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you something really quick because there is something
Okay.
dangerous in the sewers. Did you put the cash down so you don't lose it?
Wait, where's the sewers?
Let me put it down. Should we buy some guns instead when it's 6 p.m.?
We can't buy guns yet. We can only buy the machete. But we can steal guns if we wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, then you definitely gotta go put all your money down.
Okay, daddy.
Oh, Dad, no.
Poppy.
Poppy. That's the only one I
Poppy.
accept.
That one
I
is
only
cute.
accept
I like that one.
Poppy. You got your bat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my huge stick too,
Yeah.
in case everything else goes wrong.
Guten Hans.
Oh.
Hey! Don't do that!
It's
Sorry, I had to.
violence.
Sorry, my reason was I wanted to.
Okay, do you want to get guns first, or do you want to go to the sewer first?
Gun.
Come with me. Come with me. We'll go get guns. We have to be really careful and really fast when we do it, okay?
Okay. Chat, watch and learn. Nibby's explaining.
That's how we do it in America.
Hang on. Give me a little bit. Hang on. Give me a little time to explain. We gotta get across town. We gotta go. You guys still with me? Be good.
Are you with us, Ellie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me take your pulse.
I wasn't sure.
Well, I'm dead, like inside, but like not outside, I think. Not yet.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Okay, cool.
Both.
No morals, you know? Where's she leading
I'm
us?
trying to remember. I think if I go. Trying to remember where
My
the cops
god, you're
spawn
reflecting
in.
the light so fucking hard.
Did I miss it? Okay, I think there should be 2 cops over here.
I mean, yeah, that's the police station, right?
You don't want to do it at the police station so you have guns already. I'm trying
American
to remember where
breathing.
these guys. Here.
Yeah, they're cops.
Okay. Listen to me. Let them body search you first. Okay? So they don't try to grab you. So come
Okay.
over to them. They'll search you.
I'm watching.
Okay.
Me too.
Let them search you.
Do I need to hide the key?
If it's marked red, yeah. Anything in your inventory marked red, you have to hide it. If it's not marked red, don't worry about it though.
Okay.
Okay, we've all been searched. We're all
Yes.
clean. Okay, get your bat
Yeah.
out. Line up to one of them.
Just one
You
of
guys
them?
ready?
Okay.
No. We
Both of
have to
them.
try to knock them out at the same time.
All right.
Ready? Power up your swing. And then start swinging on them.
No.
Oh,
Ooh, I'm being cuffed. Hit him.
ah! Damn,
Okay.
that hurts.
Now pickpocket them quick. Get the guns out of their inventories.
How do you pickpocket?
Yeah,
Ah.
crouch and look at their butt.
I can't pickpocket this one.
Why can't we pickpocket them?
I can.
Is it because we're
I was
under?
just getting
Oh,
it.
because we were under arrest. Yeah, and then we get the guns and the clips.
Yep.
And
Watch
and
my
just like that,
clips! Sorry.
and just like that, we have guns.
I don't have a gun.
A man was arrested and the judge said this is the 10th time you've been caught robbing a board game store. Why do you keep saying this? Doing this? The man looked down and said, I don't know, Your Honor. I guess it's just like taking risks. All right.
I need to find another cop
Right
because I
by
don't have
that
a gun
joke.
yet.
Thank you. I'm glad you like
Oh,
the model.
I don't have a gun. Ellie, do you have 2 guns?
I have 2 guns, yeah. Just I was
Oh.
thinking I was hoping one of you would pickpocket me because you couldn't pickpocket the other guy.
I can't
Can we
pickpocket you.
Oh, yeah, I
No.
don't think we can pickpocket each other.
Can I drop these
Um,
somehow?
I don't think so, but we could. Wait, hang on. If you come over here really quick, and you pickpocket the cop again, can you put it in there?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, and then Foxy, can you take it out?
I could.
Let's go. Okay, now look at me. Look at me. Don't let the cops see that you're holding those. It will make them suspicious.
Okay,
But now you have
Dad.
guns.
Let's go. I
Let's
don't want to
go.
be. Hold on. I don't want to have a gun. I'm not good at
Too
shooting.
late. Too late. We can't swap it again. There's another cop. That way he doesn't know. As long as
doesn't
we're not
know.
over there, they won't know. They're stupid. They don't care.
Okay, do we go into the sewers now?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is that?
Ooh. At the bridge.
At the bridge.
There are so many cops here. What the fuck?
At the bridge. Oh yeah, it's because our we've been selling so much drugs that they're all over the place.
Not suspicious at all.
Not enough drugs.
Hello. The fuck are you looking at?
Yeah, what is she looking at?
Who you mean mugging right now?
Why are they all coming to look?
That's what I fucking thought.
Wait, where's Foxy?
Where'd
I'm
Foxy
here.
go?
At the
Here
bridge.
where? Well, we're at the sewer grate.
Oh, you had... Yeah, it's me too.
Which sewer grate are you in?
Yeah, are there two?
At the one at the bridge.
The one at the bridge?
Wait, I lost.
No. Queso!
Queso!
Wait,
Queso's
what?
over here.
Oh,
Oh,
Queso.
that's so cute.
wait, I want to see.
Where the hell are you?
I was at the main
Oh,
bridge.
you went to that bridge. No, there's another entrance over here.
Where's Queso?
Over
Down
here.
here. Look at it.
Oh, Queso! Aww.
Look at that beautiful artwork.
That's cute.
Yep.
Alright, let's still accept the offers. I need to sneeze!
Bless
you.
you. Gesundheit.
Sorry. My headphones fell down.
Jeez.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Can I have the gun out now? Yeah.
You'll want to
What's
use it.
this?
There's a little guy in here that'll chase you.
Oh, is that the
Uh,
goblin you were
this
talking
isn't-
about?
Yeah, hang on. I have to find the safe house. I'm still learning the layout.
She's such a professional.
Yeah, I found it. Where are my armed robbers? I need to borrow your guns. Just please don't shoot each other.
Hear the noise.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
Mr.
Goblins.
Guy!
Get him!
oh my. Wait.
Down, boy!
What?
Where's he?
How did he get me? I wasn't
Is he
even
dead?
close to him.
I think
Is he dead?
Have you?
No, I
He
didn't.
can't die. He can't die. He ran away.
Oh, Ellie.
No.
Ellie, get up. Ellie, get
Man.
It's
up.
a code.
1111.
11111.
Alright, go shoot the fuck out of him.
Ooh.
I mean, Nibby didn't have a gun, so I'm not sure how I died.
Wait, I
actually,
didn't see him.
I have no
Where the
idea
fuck
how
is
that
the
just
sewer
happened.
king?
I don't see him though. Oh, what? Oh, what? Who's this guy? Ah! A king is
kill him.
attacking me!
Kill him!
Oh, I can't
take
go
his
back
crown.
into the sewer. That's shitty.
Take his crown.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess I'm gonna
there's a
stay
weird
outside.
thing. He has to fix it. There's a weird thing with the sewers where only the host can open it once you get the key.
Yeah,
But this
they're
is
locked
still a-
again.
Yeah, this is a newer add-on, so he hasn't quite polished all the bugs yet. He getting there,
Okay,
though. He
well.
getting there. Oh, look at you! With your
Hey.
beautiful crown!
Thanks.
And now we have a safe house down here.
Am I
Oh,
the
heck.
sewer queen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Ooh,
are
that sounds-
I want
the
to sit
sewer
on my
queen.
throne.
Since it's still buggy, I'm gonna just grab everything out of here.
My
want-
kingdom.
Do you want your throne in the house?
That's my head cannon. That's fair, Alpha.
I
That's
do.
fair.
I want my throne.
Okay, pick it up, pick it up.
I
have- I have-
Wait, another toilet for Ellie. She can piss here.
Toilet.
Yeah. I have protection in case the goblin comes out. You can give him meth and he won't bother you.
Why is
Wanna kill
Yumi
him, though. He
like
killed
that?
Ellie.
You can't kill him though. He's got infinite health. He cheats.
Why would Yumi
He's a
do that?
Cheeto. What do Yumi do?
She's the sewer goblin.
Wait, where's Ellie?
Well, I can't get
Probably
back in the
back
sewer,
home.
so I went
We're
back home.
out. Okay.
Wait until you see what Foxy got from the Sewer King.
Oh my god.
Do we have enough weed for tonight?
We
I
should.
mean, we need around 100.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, let me check. Do we have soil?
No.
Shit.
Shit.
Scheiße.
No, I think
Listen,
we're
that's
okay.
fine.
We need 100.
Okay, we still have the premium stuff if we're short on things.
But we need that.
And we have I don't think we have enough.
Okay, I got us some soil.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah, I managed to get it before you
Just
closed.
in time, holy shit.
Sure, I grab all of it. Zzz. There we go. Grab this.
Let me
Okay,
water these
I'm coming
already.
home.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm coming back to my cage.
Do you have fun on your outing today?
I
Your monthly
did.
outing?
Yeah, I got to go to the sewer today.
So much for sunlight, huh?
Yeah. Do you feel powerful?
I feel very powerful.
Hell yeah.
Ellie, look at me. I'm so powerful.
Wait, where are you? Oh, wow. Look at you.
I'm the
Holy
sewer
shit.
queen.
It suits
Hell
you.
yeah. Also,
Guys, she can't insult me anymore, and because in the end she's just a mere peasant, and I'm the queen.
You're so right. You're so right.
insane. So I'm putting the meth on the shelf over here.
Okay.
Put you there for now. Put the soil.
Oh.
Sorry, I wanted to keep the rent down.
I used to live in a neighborhood where somebody did that actually.
No, that's smart, bro. That's smart.
Like
America.
unironically, a guy would just go out in his front yard and fire a few shots.
Yeah, honestly, I would too. So fair.
It was sad when he moved. That's when they started jacking up our rent.
Well, you know what to do.
I don't live there anymore.
Always be the person you need yourself.
Okay, I got
Great.
I got 74
What?
wheat with me. Let's hope it's enough.
What
Should at
the
least
fuck?
get you
Who
started.
was talking to me right now?
Huh?
Through the someone is talking to me through the wall while I was pouring stuff.
Oh, is there somebody out here that
I
wants
think
to buy?
I think they want to buy
yeah,
something.
that purple-headed crackhead is out there.
Oh my god, look
Should-
at eyes!
Wait, should I invite him
Let me
in?
come here. Go towards her. Go towards her.
Ooh, wow. I'm
mean,
going
do-
back
do
in the
you-
house, and I'm
do
not
you
coming
guys-
out.
Should I? Yo! She's stabbing me! She's stabbing me!
Oh god.
Shoot her!
Well,
She
I'm
just
just-
suddenly. Dude,
Yeah, because she was
Shit.
trying to talk to Ellie, but Ellie couldn't give her a deal through the wall, so she got violent.
Yeah, okay.
she had $2 on her. She
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 couldn't
would've
even
stolen
pay for
anyway.
the shit, dude.
she wasn't
couldn't
buying
even pay.
shit with-
Bitch
Well, hey, we
ass.
kept the rent down. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Yay. Not again.
You only have so many bullets. We can't buy
Yeah,
more yet.
I'm out of bullets.
Oh my god. Well,
Ellie, did you lose the gun when you died?
no, I still got. I put it on one of the
Fuck!
shelves.
Cops.
Can you get in the house?
No, he's trying to
Okay, just
chase me.
run. Just keep
I have
running.
all the
I believe
weed
in
on
you.
me.
You can do it.
You have what?
I have all the kush on me.
Oh my god.
You better
Please
hightail
run.
it into the next
Please
fucking
run.
town. I swear to God, please. That's so much profit in your pocket.
Chat, 5 gifted and I get caught.
No!
No, that's not worth it.
Okay, Chat 10 gifted and I get arrested.
10
No!
gifted to all of us, maybe.
Literally.
You already got 10.
Wow.
I was
I can't
unrelated.
believe this. That
This is
was
something
totally
else.
unrelated.
Oh my god. Have you made it away yet?
I did.
Thank God.
Good. Oh my god, I was gonna shit my pants, dude.
Hot.
No.
That was the most German thing you've said today.
What?
Hot to the scat stuff. It's very,
Wait,
it's a very
Scats is
German,
a German thing?
It's a very German fetish.
What do you know about that? Do you want to tell us something?
No,
You lived here after all.
that's exactly why I know about it.
Oh. Okay,
You would
Ellie.
not believe the types of offers I got from weird German men returning that. It's crazy.
That's
Oh.
Ellie, that's wild.
Yeah, it
You
is.
didn't have to tell us that on stream, you know?
I mean, did they at least make like fair offers? I'm not like insinuating that you accepted, but like, did they make fair offers?
I didn't even hear them out. That was an instant block. I'm gonna be so real with you. I'm gonna be so real with you. I did not even entertain the idea of listening to them.
Fair enough.
Hey, don't get me wrong, but can you shit in my mouth?
Oh. People are weird.
Yuck.
Very. Okay. Where's the
DROOGS.
last one? There we go.
DROOGS.
Holy shit, this guy just bought 12 kush.
Good for him. He's just like me for real.
How much do you normally buy?
When we stock up for like 2 weeks, we get like, let's see, we get like 12 bottles of 50
Hi,
milligrams.
Singer. Hello.
Hang on.
Hello.
Bottles of 50 milligrams. Each have 9 drops. We get like 33 highs out of it.
Let's see. Interesting, Miss Nibbler.
How's everyone doing? Doing
legal.
great. We just met the sewer goblin.
It's also legal here. Yeah, and now I'm the sewer queen.
Sewer queen.
The police
Hello.
better addresses me properly now.
Yeah.
My first new rule as the queen
Mm-hmm.
is the creation of Titty Tuesday.
Well, I don't like that this is overriding Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, could be both, right?
Yeah. It's an addition. No,
Okay,
it's a feature.
a feature.
It's an add-on to Taco
Aw.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, pissing real quick.
Add this to the pile.
I am. Hello, piss flowered. I am paying attention. Don't worry.
Oh, is Queso yelling at you again?
Yeah, he is. But I like it, so it's okay.
Oh.
Do we eat?
Ew. Where did all our money go?
I took it so I
Oh.
can buy the business.
Oh, okay.
The business.
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 Titty Taco
Titty
now,
Taco.
that place would make money, right?
True.
Ooh. This big money. Chili. We got the chili.
We didn't make that much money.
We made
Okay.
plenty of money. What are you talking about?
Chili!
We made $4,000.
She literally got a crown and is still not satisfied. That's insane.
The greed
I
they
just
speak
realized
of
how
in the
nice the
Bible.
lighting actually is in this game. Like, it looks very warm.
Yeah, that's why I like the lamps so much, because they make it so cozy.
Oh, what cozy meth kitchen. Yippee! Yippee!
Yahoo!
Oh, you know what? Look, what would look sick? Yeah!
Oh my god. Where's the other mixing station? There it is. Are we gonna get a laundromat today?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing that.
Yay.
Hell yeah. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Ray. I wanna buy business. That will be the second business I buy today. Haha.
Huh?
Crazy.
Yeah,
What a businesswoman.
I got today one Ubisoft share.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You own Ubisoft now.
Chat, I will be sure that the next Ubisoft game will be very, very woke.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, and we make all the characters ugly.
What?
Why
That's not very
ugly?
nice.
But isn't that what Ubisoft does?
I guess.
Is it?
Maybe.
Have you
I
seen
haven't
Star Wars
touched
Outlaws?
I haven't touched an Ubisoft game in forever.
Me neither. I think.
Oh, we need money on the bank account. Let me put
We
some in
have-
right now.
Do we have enough transaction?
I don't know, can you handle the appointments? I'll look for an ATM.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sunday. We need to wait an entire day.
Oh,
Man. Oh, I'm buying us some soil. What do we need?
We have plenty of soil right now, I think, don't we?
Oh, do
Get
we need
more.
anything
Get
else?
blue stuff.
Yeah, no. Get the blue bags.
Okay.
Cause I'm
Well, how many?
As many as you want.
I bought
Should
20.
definitely be. Okay, that's good, that's good.
Start packing stuff.
Huh? Ellie, what are you whispering about? Are you casting spells?
No, I said I'm gonna start packing stuff. What the hell?
Oh, it sounded like you were
Well, stop
whispering and I
casting
couldn't make out what you're saying.
Crazy.
She's a wizard. Dude, I'm faster than the car.
Damn.
Ellie, I almost forgot the other day while taking a shower. It occurred to me that while we've established that your prehensile dong can go anywhere from 1 mile to wrap around the earth, but we never established the girth, and I had a giggle at the idea that it's super long but only as thin as a sewing needle. That's crazy. Hi, Aith. How's it going?
Oh
Yes,
no, you
ma'am.
can't do anything with that, Ellie.
Man. What if
So
it is just
how
sewing needles?
How
Oh my god.
how thick is it?
I don't know.
Tell us number. It will
How
measure.
thick should it be?
Thick.
Thick.
World serpent.
Thick.
It's good to see you too, Aith. I'm doing well. How are you?
I got us more soil.
Let's
Thank
go.
So how do we fix the quest?
That's a good question.
Question.
Oh no, Nibby's having her
me.
e-boy laugh. Oh yeah, wait, Ellie,
Let
do you
me
need the
tinker
clip?
around
I
with
have it
it.
downloaded for like, I don't know, a video or something.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it.
Wait, what clip?
Exactly.
maybe
There's no
doing e-boy language. Oh wait, I'm sending it to you. Hi Lynx, how are
Thank
you? It's
you.
good to see you.
Oh, you're at the eye doctor? Good luck. I hate going to that place.
Oh my god, I hate when they make me look at the red balloon. They're like, okay,
Yeah,
you'll see
right?
a red balloon. Fuck! Did I tell you guys about the eye doctor that tricked me?
No, what happened?
He was like, okay, because I told him like outright when I got in there, I was like nervous about being at the eye doctor because I hate like the little air puff machine. There we go, I fixed it. I was worried about the little air puff machine, and I always have a really hard time with it. And he was super nice, and he like kept talking to me, and he kept me distracted. He went, "All right," like, and I told him I haven't been here in a while, and so he knew I wasn't gonna recognize one machine from the other. So he sat me down at one, and he's like, "Okay,
Nah.
put your chin there, put your forehead there, you know, the whole kit caboodle." And he's like, "Okay, now you're gonna see a red balloon. Just tell me like when it's in focus." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then he puffed my eye with air.
Nah, that is fucked up. What the hell? That's so
Scared the fucking
mean.
shit out of me. And I jumped back and I looked at him, and he's like, "See? It's probably the best image anyone's ever gotten of your eye." And I was like,
What
"Yeah,
the
but you
fuck?
lied to me." He's like,
Bro,
"Yeah, but I got a
I
really
would
good
have
picture
been
of your eye."
so bad.
Ellie, I got you something about your PP problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pick
What
the
is it?
most left slot.
Oh, Viagra, thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Exactly
he's
what
like,
I
"You
needed.
tricked me. You lied
Nah,
to me."
that is so mean. What the
That's
hell?
evil.
And then we got the other picture of the picture of my other eye, and he went, okay, this one is actually the red balloon. Just sit down at this one.
Yeah, I would not trust a word that man would have told me afterwards. Good night, Bogus. Have a good night.
Honestly,
Sleep well.
though, he
Good
was like one
night.
of the nicest eye doctors I ever had. I hope I can go
Insane.
back to him.
Well, Ellie, check the group chat and watch the video.
In a second.
Good night, Bulger. Oh, car. Why
Wait.
is this car so drunk?
Foxy, can you get the rest of the baggies here?
Yes. Oh my god.
Thank you. Yeah, I need that many. I don't. we go through these so fast. What's she giggling about? Let me see.
Hey there, kitten. I broke out of my cage today and made a silly decision.
She's outside?
What?
I'm outside.
Hunt her down right now. We can't have
I
that.
did something.
Shh.
I did something.
That's what I get for having
see
a
my
cat on
arm?
my lap.
I see your arm.
You see
Oh
what's
my
on it?
god, you're tattooed. You
Oh my god.
you
She
How
got
well can you
fucking
see it?
junkie.
first she left home without our permission, and then she got a tattoo.
It's an alien.
That's crazy.
Ellie, come here, come here, come here, come here. No, from here.
Look at
Oh
the
my god.
alien.
It's so
That's the
silly.
Glorpo. That's a Glorpo emote.
Okay, you know what? That's very cute. That's silly. I love that.
Here we go.
Glorp.
So we have so many deals. Glorp. Love Glorp.
Wait.
I would kill and die for Glorp.
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 Nah, nah. I just had a silly idea,
What?
but I'm not
What
doing
is
it.
Wow,
I
I'm not even
can't.
gonna
I
tell
need
her?
to. I need to write it to you.
Okay. Is it that scandalous?
Probably is.
Oh goodness.
That's crazy.
I got another sewer key because Keith attacked me.
Oh.
I had a gun out. But yeah, also Ellie, watch your clip. Watch my clips!
I did. I watched it.
You
I'll
should
never,
totally edit that.
I'll never be able to unhear that.
Nippy e-boy.
Yep.
No.
Nippy boy.
No. No, no, no.
Okay, I'm inside the house.
You're in?
Can't feel it yet.
No, I was hiding from the cops.
Also, I heard that, Ellie.
No, you
The
didn't.
cops are outside the door.
You didn't hear anything. I said that. I said that low on purpose, so only chat would hear it. You didn't hear anything.
I heard it.
No.
I definitely heard it.
No,
Hi,
no, no, no,
Fuzz. How are you doing? It's good to see you.
no. Hi, Faz. Hello, hello.
I'm too pissed.
Wait, did Ellie told chat what I wrote?
No, no, I didn't.
Mm-mm. Did you want it known?
Should I say it?
I mean, are you certain that's what you want to do?
I can put it like on my file, no one would see it.
True.
Very true.
You're breathing.
Yeah,
That's
200
good.
gifted and I get a mini glob tattoo. If it ever happens in the future, I will do it.
Does it have to be 200 all in one go?
All in one stream.
Oh.
Okay.
Subathons only count if it's a bundle.
Okay.
And breathing, me too. We got so much in
it'll happen
common.
one day. Oh, hello, Ace.
Do we have enough drugs?
We should.
I guess we'll find out.
Where should I put the key?
I don't know.
Just put it on the shelf somewhere. Doesn't matter.
I don't know, whatever makes you
I'll
happy.
put it on the table.
On the
Why is there so...
table.
Get that Viagra out of my... I'm gonna put that up here.
She still has the Viagra.
Just use it.
No. It
Why
might be
not?
catastrophic.
Probably. Okay, let me grab all the drugs we got.
Be careful.
Never.
Oh, goodness.
Oh wait, it starts in 3 hours. I'm way too early.
Dealership manager and talk to the mechanic. Okay.
Mechanic!
Mechanic.
I fix it.
Mechanic.
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 You know the meme, right?
My favorite.
Curfew.
My favorite mechanic meme is that cat leaning on the car.
That's some good shit, chat.
You guys
I
know
know
what I'm
that one.
talking about?
Wait, what?
What?
Hi.
Hello. What do you
How's
need?
it going?
Hello?
I'm just waiting that the time starts. For the drugs.
Hi.
They're merged together. Oh my god.
It stays in the family. Don't worry about
Oh
it.
my god, that makes it
God.
worse.
Insane.
This isn't Alabama, is it?
I don't think
I don't know.
No.
Have you checked your ID?
I don't want to know now. I'll live in blissful ignorance.
I'll enjoy it as long as I can.
Yep.
Like those stories of the couples that find out they're cousins or something, and
Oh
they
my
just
god,
decide
yeah.
to pretend that they aren't and stay together.
Bro.
I could not do that. Like, honestly, once I know,
Right,
it's just in my head and I won't be able to ignore it.
Right? Like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Can't do it. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm stretching.
Okay.
Oh, it
You
sounded
guys
like
not
you
screaming
were.
when you stretch?
Yeah. No, but it just came out of nowhere.
Guys, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Can you open the door?
What are you doing? Oh, you spam jumping.
Oh, it doesn't work here.
Yeah, you gotta do it on the other porch. Ours is too tall.
Yeah.
Just be careful with all that weed in your pocket. Ellie, I love your Fugi for this game. I love that you look like a new character.
I can't see the map anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that happens. You'll come back in a little bit. Don't worry, you always fall back down.
I mean, yeah, that's how
I think
gravity works. Ah! Oh,
I
nothing
think
happened.
I remember I jumped like a ridiculous amount of time, and I think somebody timed it, and it took me like, what was it, like almost 5 whole minutes to fall back
Yeah,
down.
it was like the whole
What?
ad break and a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I remember that.
Like an insane amount of height. I hope he never patches that. I'm gonna sit on the throne while Foxy's gone.
You should fart on it. Mark your territory like the cat you are.
He should.
And in a moment, you just hear like a very wet fart. And then we're being like, oh no, that was too much.
Oh
A
no.
fart that I shouldn't have trusted.
Oh no.
You shouted.
I help harvest. I put it on your shelf for you.
Thank you. I don't know what's happening. We're doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Drugs.
God, there's too many drugs. I can't fit them all on the shelf. I'll put them in the station.
Like I think we need to change our layout of shelves and co. Maximize space, you know.
Nah, this is fine. I mean, I could redo the blue carpet room once all these the soil runs out.
Ooh, good idea. Oh my god, I need so much extra weed.
We're growing as fast as we can. Oh my god. Ellie, look, I figured out how to fly.
Holy shit, you're flying?
I'm flying, look.
Hold on.
That's how high she is.
Where the fuck?
Look, I'm
She flying! Holy shit!
Whee! Whee!
Look at her go. She was a fairy.
Okay, I already used 80 weed.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have another 40 and, well, almost. Why are we missing one?
I smoked one.
So
Oh,
for
fair
this
enough.
night, we needed 105.
So listen, sometimes I just want something for myself, okay?
Fair enough, fair enough.
It keeps me going.
God, you sound
Crazy.
bad when you say that. Pile up all the leaves. I can't wait for us to start making meth.
Yay!
Start making what?
Meth.
The good shit.
Meth.
Meth.
Yeah.
Make a little pile of leaves.
Oh my god. My game almost
Yeah.
crashed.
Oh my god.
Not good.
We go. How is it doing with your model open?
It seems pretty alright.
Okay.
Not a single dropped frame, which is really nice too.
Oh hell yeah.
Thank you for head pat.
Chat, you should all gift subs to Nibby and Ellie.
No.
To Ellie maybe.
To Nibby, definitely.
To Nibby and
No.
Ellie, because they both
No.
deserve it.
No, give him to Ellie.
Masturbation is a form of
Somebody buy
witchcraft.
me nuggies from McDonald's, please. That's what I
Oh
want.
my god.
I also want
fuck up.
nuggies.
I want McDonald's nuggies. We currently have a thing where you buy one, but you get two boxes of those.
Wait, we
things.
have that here too, but for Burger King.
It's a good deal.
I need $20 so I can buy Burger King.
I spent too much money this month.
Me too.
Otherwise, I'd send you Burger King money. Cause let's see, I got Jasper her Christmas gift, and then I got myself a laptop for traveling and like writing, cause I'm working on my lore again.
Lore.
Ooh.
And as much as I love my old HP Elite book, that girl had to go.
She did
I
her
could
time.
I mean, I think it's like a 2012 Elite book. Like it's thick. It's a thick fucking
That's
laptop.
old.
I could knock someone out with that thing.
Jesus.
And don't get me wrong, she still works great, so I'm not gonna get rid of her. She still works great, surprisingly.
Chat, where's Ellie's coffee? Give her nuggy money.
What the hell?
Oh, my chat.
Oh my god, why does it keep doing that?
Didn't you disable it?
I have. Like it's set as don't send chat messages, but it's still doing it. I don't understand.
It's okay, just sleep.
Mean muggin.
I don't want to sleep.
Please
Fine,
do
let's
it.
go sleep.
Sleep.
Thank you.
Oh, look at 105.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and we're peddler 5.
What did we
Oh,
get?
we got
I
the
didn't
better
see.
lamps now.
Let's
Oh,
go.
hell yeah. Those are gonna grow so fast. I gotta replace the last few pots in here, but I want to wait until this soil is spent before I start doing too much.
Yeah, we also can buy better pots anyway. But can you look at the bank account real quick?
Yep.
Are you looking?
Yep.
I'm looking.
Oh, you maxed it
Damn,
out.
bro.
God.
Let's go.
Do we have enough storage at the laundromat to hold all the extra cash?
Storage.
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 Storage. Let's see, how much storage do we have in here? Oh. Did you buy the laundromat?
I'm doing it now because we didn't have enough.
Oh, that's right. I thought we had it already.
Hello, Ray.
Wow.
We can also buy the post office for 10 grand.
Oh god, that might be a little much.
Which lets us launder more money.
Yeah, but I don't think we need to get that just yet.
We'll buy it next week then.
Yeah. Start small.
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 Small. Oh my god, it's past 10 p.m. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Talk to Mechanique.
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 Need your car towed. I'm the fella for the job. Thank you, Marco.
Okay, I'm laundering 2 grand now.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Dealer and fixer. Okay. I like that you guys never notice. I just slip out of the house sometimes.
You're really like acting like we're actually keeping you hostage.
That's what you guys did last time. You just left me in the apartment. Oh, this time you guys just left me in the apartment and made me grow all the weed.
Listen, someone has to do it, Nibby.
I know.
Okay, I'm doing it this time. It's fine.
She broke containment exactly for us.
I'm free. It also kind of helps reinforce the argument when, I say I'm outside of the house and then Foxy greets me at the front door with a gun. Like an angry dad waiting for me to come home at night. Said, where were you? I got a tattoo.
Hi, Super.
Super. Hello.
Hi, Super. Welcome back.
Yellow.
Have we stuff? Ooh. Wait, where are you?
In the heavens.
She's up there.
Visiting the
Rest in
pearly
peace.
gates. Whee!
Let's see if it works. Good luck.
Where were you?
There.
You're lucky there's
Oh,
trash
look at
here
all
to
the-
distract me.
Look
Better
at all
go
those
inside.
buttons.
Quick.
Oh.
Be quick with it.
It was the be quick with it. I was so afraid you were gonna swing on me.
car doing? Why are you trying to kill me?
What's the
What
car
the
doing?
hell?
Oh, did it
He
bug
drove
out?
into me.
Yeah, they do that.
I'm just
I
here
think
being a
he
good
fixed-
citizen.
I think he fixed the bug where... Yeah, he fixed... There was a... Wait a minute. This one didn't bug out. It's Foxy.
That's crazy.
She bought a car.
Weird because I was laughing so hard.
They do
And he
bug
was
out like that,
The thing
though.
is, I hit her. She looked like the car was like, oh, this car was bugging out, so I immediately stopped moving and just let it roll.
Crazy.
Yeah, they do. They bug out like that all the time, dude. There
Yeah,
was...
I
You
mean,
patched it, but
it wasn't even
you...
the first time, so I was like, okay, all right, another bucket car.
Right, but for a little while, I think he did actually fix this one. The cop cars, for some reason, were completely broken, and you could jump on the hood of it and flip it over.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Guys, we got a car now.
Yeah, you don't
Let's
say.
go. Hello. Wait, don't park
It's
it
called
there.
the
Don't park.
shit. It's called the shit box.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
don't park it. Don't park it here. I need this spot for the delivery truck.
Don't you dare order stuff.
Why?
Eddie, did we allow Nibby to drive a car?
No.
Outside the house?
We didn't even allow Nibby to leave the house.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck?
I'm just parking the car. I'm just parking the car.
She's running. Oh my god.
Come here!
Sorry, it's just parking the car.
Oh
I
god.
was inside the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Please don't hurt me. Please, no, no.
Hey, chat, should I give him a
Give
final
you,
blow?
I'll give you my money,
Okay.
my whole allowance. Here, put it on the shelf
Which shelf?
over here.
Which one?
This one.
Oh my god, you're broke. Wait, let me give you some money.
Oh my god. But even the bully feels. Oh my god. Somebody is talking to me through the fucking wall again.
Again?
Motherfucker!
I don't know who it is, but I have an option that
Steve.
says,
Oh,
"Do you have
no,
a
he's-
sewer
he's
key?"
looking in. Wait, oh
Can I
yeah.
just- Can I leave
Hey,
the
we got
house
another
to go
sewer
get...
key. We have two
Well,
now.
there we go.
Let's go.
I
Can
don't know
leave
what-
the house to go get Coca-Cola?
Fine,
Yes.
go.
Yay.
Can't they stop talking to
it.
me through the wall, though? That would be great.
I killed him.
Yeah, I know, but like, this is the
Hello,
second time this happened.
Captain.
Hi, Captain, how are you?
Hi,
Captain, they're
Captain.
beating me.
Because you leave the house without permission.
Man, a girl can dream though.
Yeah, you can dream and have hopes, but remember, hope dies last, but it dies.
Damn,
Oh.
deep.
I'm putting the dead guy in the dumpster.
The
Deserve.
snoring of him outside the house is so annoying.
It
Oh,
really
okay.
is.
I'll move him.
Just like,
I'll go dump him in a ditch then.
Thanks.
Okay, I dumped him behind the bus station.
God, this shelf is full.
How are we doing on supply? Ooh, a whole bunch. I need a bigger
Guys, I
shelf
found
over
an
here.
empty Starbucks cup on the ground.
No Starbucks. Scammed.
It's such a trash store.
I like caribou more.
Ooh.
Get this.
Ooh. 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 Ah.
Here, put this down for a second and pick this So put some of
Of
this on
course,
the
say do it,
table.
Tama. My God, the mess.
Do you like it?
Yes. Feels like home.
Put a bigger shelf over here.
Oh, perfect.
I can't wait for us to have a barn.
Right. I'm gonna have so much room to run around.
The barn
I'll
is
finally
15
feel at home
grand.
then. I'm excited.
Hell
Oh my God,
yeah.
yes! Law accurate drug dealer.
Yeah.
Wait a fucking minute. I know that font. Wait,
What?
guys, come look at the cigarette carton on the throne.
What?
Wait.
It's the same font I use for all my Art Deco stuff on the channel.
Oh my God, true! Nibby, are you the deaf?
Nibby, are you the
I wish
deaf?
I was that cool.
Oh my god. You're right.
It's the same font. It's called Deco.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
So this is the first product which you will sell as merch. It's cigarettes.
Oh my god.
Siggy.
Not the
Like, here's the
ciggies.
thing, right? Get people addicted. What we're gonna do? Stop?
Exactly.
Maybe. They can try. Look at all
You
that
say
product.
that with such a smug expression on your character's face.
It's just
We could try.
Haha.
God, I hate it. Every time.
Start picking these up so I can reorganize.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I remember not to refill them. Okay, those are still growing. Those
This
still
one is
have
also.
dirt. Yep. Yep.
Oh, we don't have any
Oh
more
my god, are
seeds,
we
though.
finally out of seeds?
Yep. I just used all of them.
I'll buy more. Don't worry.
Go.
Don't worry, Daddy. Fuck! I picked the wrong time.
For which one?
I think for Jerry.
Cherry? Oh yeah, he wants
Man.
mine. That's okay.
Yeah, but it's less money, you know. You know what's
Yeah, but it's just cherry.
I really hope that no one in chat is called Jerry. That would be so
Right.
rude. Chat, anyone here
wait,
called
hang on.
Jerry?
Let me look at his picture again.
If yes, you can cancel Nippy now.
Oh, that's the guy that lives behind the gas station in the RV.
Yeah.
It's just Jerry. He's just camping.
I miss our RV. Oh, by the way, you can play games on this TV. Try it.
Yeah, I played the egg run game. Did you see that the egg has balls?
What a good observation.
He does. He's got balls.
I like that.
What was your score?
I don't remember. What was it? 2309. I only tried it once. Moment of truth.
Good luck, Super.
I believe.
Good luck.
What was it, Nibby?
I don't remember numbers. Hang on. It was.
My high
Oh
score is
my-
1824.
Damn! God damn, you were locked in.
I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer. Ha 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 ha.
Aha.
Fuck are these boxes on the... Oh.
Maybe you can pick up
Mm.
more thingies behind you.
Okay.
I need to pee again. I drank too much.
I was gonna say I'm gonna call it after we go to bed. It's been 4
Yeah,
hours
it's
already, and I'm
Oh yeah,
tired.
when I pee in a bit.
Yeah.
Should we triple rate someone?
We could.
We could, yeah.
I don't want to go around and get delivered the weed. Ah.
We could just forfeit today's progress.
We can just save and log out.
Oh yeah, does that just work?
Mhm.
If you just save?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I
like,
saved.
let's just do that then.
Okay.
Quit. Should we triple rate someone?
We
Who are we
can. Let me
raiding?
see who's online.
Oh, we could rate Toma. He's online. You know my friend Toma Tengu, the bull VTuber?
Well, actually, I'm gonna raid Alpha. Is
Oh.
one
Raid
mod.
Alpha? Oh,
Yeah.
Alpha's
Alpha
never streaming at a
never
time.
streams at this time, but he's doing a co-working stream today.
Can you
His
send me
first
the
co-working
name?
stream. Yeah, hold on. It's very chill. Oh. Why can't I type anything in Discord?
Chat, don't leave yet.
There you go. There's his name.
Thank you.
But yeah, I never get
Thank
to
you all
raid
for
him.
joining today. We'll be raiding now. Next stream is Thursday. We will be playing some DBD open lobby.
Oh.
Maybe join.
Okay.
And
Wait, I can't. I can. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thursday is Thanksgiving.
I see.
I'll go eat
Bye
turkey.
bye everyone. Copy the
Yeah.
raid message.
I'm gonna read out as well.
Copy it, guys. Copy it.
Oh, thank you, Captain, for the
Alpha
30
Zeno.
biddies to throw that big old brick at my head.
Thank you for the biddies.
Yeah, I'll read you guys out. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for hanging out. It was fun.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you,
Bye bye everyone. Copy the raid message. Do it. Copy it. Copy it.
No, I
Now.
refuse.
If you copy it, I'll send you more Oreos.
Okay, I'm copying it.
Oh, Nibby, we can now send care packages to Ellie. I got her address.
Ooh. Wait, hang on, I want to type up my own raid message.
Just imagine we sent her random packages and be like, "Happy birthday."
There you go, guys. If you want to do a piss raid, copy that one.
Bye bye
I wanna do a piss
everyone.
raid.
Bye bye.
Bye. Yeah. I don't have a raid message command yet. Oh my god.
Me neither.
I read
Just
it.
typed it out. Okay, hold on.
Thank everyone for being here.
Yeah,
Good
thank
night,
you, everyone.
everybody.
Good night.
Mwah.